Epstein's back.
Hello, guys. Something special is happening in here. That's right. It's Brackets and Jackets. Bringing it back for Brackets and Jackets. Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks. Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, back.
The man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Brackets and Jackets Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. Alright, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know. Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Bryan Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. See, here's something that really made a kind of weird epiphany to me today, is when I figured out that Gabe Hoffman lives in West Palm Beach, Florida, and is an investor in West Palm Beach, Florida, and had a documentary about this guy, Bryan Singer. But isn't Bryan Singer Epstein as well? Were they maybe setting up a little play for this guy, Bryan Singer? Maybe they didn't even bring him down to where the real shit was happening. They always had a fall guy to take him out. That's kind of where my mind's going. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. What about Alex Jones? Who else is Epstein funding? The guy was friggin' loaded. And there's accounts in the Cayman Islands. Plus, if you've got paymasters, if you've got people that will pay and do your dirty work for you, like set up ups on patriotic Americans. Well, what about that? By the way, I got a call today from somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. It was the best, guys. It was a very good call. Some things are happening all over the world. Oh yes, some things are happening all over the world. By the way, may I remind you that scientist that was busted in Portland just a couple of days or maybe a week ago was busted for producing CP, and he is 1 degree away from Epstein. That's right, Epstein. Pull it out. Pull it like a ding on the bottom. Pull that motherfucker out. And everything all falls down. Prove me wrong. You see, Epstein is so many things and so many people and so much was going on underneath the Temple of Doom. Well, I hate to be a harbinger of bad news, but people took devices into the temple, you friggin' idiots. That's why we have everything. We have everything. It's true.
It's true.
And you know how we do. Send this to your mom. Be like, hey mom, hey AOC, hey Rashida, is there anyone who would like to look into this Jeffrey Epstein character because he has some associations we should look into? You might as well do it. Is there anyone brave enough? I think all of America could be brave enough.
Ever won the lottery?
Because here's what Epstein means once you take it out. That means a bunch of bad guys on both sides go tumbling down. Like, hey, Democrats, I'll tell you what. I bet you if we pull this Jenga, we could get... we could do a lot of good for all of America. Make all of America great. And get rid of the hate and infighting and people that somehow irrationally go after Q. Because I think Q is a pretty cool dude. That's right, Turtle. That is correct. We must unseal. Let's see what lurks inside those records. What's inside those records? Let me see what you got.
Let's see it, man. Let's go.
What you got in there? Oh, boy! Nail you to the wall. Prove me wrong. You can't prove me wrong. Ooh, I am high. I am indeed high on amazing vibes and feelings that we are entering into a new era. But first, we might have to do a few things. That's right. See, you can't just keep covering it up because the truth is coming out and you can't put it under the ground. As hard as you try, run to it! Make a run for it! You bitch! See, you are going down and you clowns! You are all going down to the ground! This is Dr. Light! Dr. Light! That's right! Get another proxy, bitches! Masadi hotties! And motherfucking little ho daddies! You got all that fucking blackmail from Epstein Island! And you want to keep it on the low, but you can't, bro. You cannot keep it up, bro. Oh boy, this Epstein guy keeps some interesting company, doesn't he? Prove me wrong. What about Branson? I mean, he's right there. What about the guy named, what about maybe some secret guys? Huh? Maybe some filmmaker guys. Who else is Epstein? That's the thing, we don't know. We don't know what's going on with Epstein. I mean, it is a fact that Epstein was pictured with Trump. Now, I know better, but shouldn't it at least be looked at, America? Yeah, Rachel, that's where my head's going. Who else was on the island? Was Paris Hilton? Oh, shit. Was Paris? Were you there, Paris? Paris, were you there? Is that why you're fucking doing what you're doing? You know what happens when we sing this song, and we all sing along. Yes, the Lolita Express. Who was on that plane, and what was they doing? They were in Santa Fe, New Mexico, weren't they? Santa Fe, Epstein, heard he got a ranch out there, heard Mexico's really close. What about when the border was porous with all those people poured upon us? Those little people smuggled in and sold to people, like what happened in Tucson and probably New Mexico and probably California, all over the world. This industrial complex of fucking slavery. These modern day slavers are slaverers. That's right. Santa Fe, New Mexico. I don't know if he was in the city, may have been the county. Not quite sure on the details of that aspect. Probably should look it up. But I know that the flight logs showed that Jeffrey Epstein was definitely in Santa Fe. Oh, me. Oh, yes, please have a look. Have a look. Spread it around now. Oh yeah, Prince Andrew. So that brings a royal family into the equation. Who knew? There's lots of choppers overhead sometimes. They like to have a peek. Yeah, they like to have a peek. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So think about the concept of a bagman, hey? What about a bagman? A bad man who holds the bag for bad man. Is it Jeffrey Epstein? Eh? Is it a Jeffrey Epstein? Palm Beach, what's up? We're coming to you live from America. Oh boy. It's so funny to watch people be stupid fucking idiots. True story. It makes me laugh. Sometimes it makes me cry when bad people do bad things to other people. But that's why we do what we do. So who else was on the island? Who's on the island? Who's on the island? Illuminati gay frogs, that's correct. Illuminati gay frogs, gay frogs. Get on the phone with your senators and let's make a fucking ruckus. We need to get to the bottom of this Epstein guy. Who was, what was going on the island? Who was on the flight logs? What is in the tunnels? And why is Jeffrey Epstein paying so many fucking people all across America? That's right, that's right, that's right. Is Trump involved? Well, I mean, it's obvious he hung out with Epstein a few times, so yeah, he is involved. Everyone's involved, guys. Everyone. Maybe, what about Oh, the Clintons are big time, big time, big time, big time into it. Of course, we must know. Let's clean America out. I guarantee you will have a better taste in your mouth when this is all done. It's like toothpaste. Lick it up. Avenatti, I don't know. We know that Avenatti was trying to blackmail Nike. But by the way, Nike is Epstein problems too. You see, Portland is Epstein problems too. And Hillary is Epstein problems too. It's all Epstein, guys. All Epstein. Make sure you download this. Spread it around.
Spread it around, kids. Brackets and jackets. Brackets and jackets, for anybody who doesn't know the song. Brackets and jackets.
Who else is on the island? We know. Why do you think the media assets of Jeffrey Epstein? Because who has the will and the means to take the truth tellers out? You see, you can never take truth tellers out because we tell the truth. And that for you means you are at a strategic disadvantage. Especially now when we have friends. We have friends who aren't the bad guys. In fact, we have friends who are the good guys. And the good guys win. Read the book. It's in the end.
The good guys win. Thank you, sir. Cappy. Isaac Cappy, brackets and jackets. What a way to start. I was going to say Thursday, but I guess maybe, what is today? Is it Wednesday?
Today's hump day, brother. Hump
Okay,
day. Middle
all
of the
right.
week. I just,
Hump day was the minute
Cappy,
as soon as we
Cappy
came
makes
on,
me
I was
happy.
going to say Thursday. Yeah.
Cappy makes me happy. What a way to start.
Happy makes me happy. He's got the Avengers in the house. We got MelzieKaye down below. Yours truly here, out and about. So, how we
How's
doing?
everybody? Yeah, good. We're doing good. Yeah. Middle of the week. Week 16, too. We forgot to mention this is week 16, which means next week is what?
17. 17. I had to carry the T. I carried the one. And
yeah, looking forward to next week. Well, we got the can of worms open last night. Obviously, that's what we let out with Cappy today. Great idea, Kyle, brother Kyle. Today's title is Boomerang Suicide, and that's in the Q drops. There's 4 deltas today. We'll cover the 4 deltas for you. And we've got some news clips from last night also we're going to share with you. More Epstein stuff. Of course, as you may or may not know, the House and the Senate both passed the bill to release all the Epstein stuff, all the files. And it's just we're waiting for the boss to sign the document. I don't think he's signed it yet. I think he's, for whatever reason, he's busy with MBS right now, Prince Solomon from Saudi Arabia. They're having a lot of fun. And I've got a beautiful clip from last night's dinner where Ben Solomon actually brings out the number 17 for us, like loud and clear, folks. I mean, you can't make this up. Nice tap on the back for all the anons, all the Q-tards out there. He was laughing and looking right at Trump when he said and did it too. So we're going to share that clip with you too. I don't know if you guys caught that last night, but you know me, my go-to for news is Real America's Voice. And I was watching John Solomon, 6 o'clock could be dangerous. I watched Stinchfield, and then I watched the guys on Studio 6B. And of course, you got to see their comments. They're going, what is he talking about? This 17. It was freaking amazing. I was laughing my ass off, Kyle and Melzie, and that's why I sent that stuff to you last night. But yeah, we're in a beautiful time right now in history where things are being released to the public now. This is the public exposure. that we've been waiting a hell of a long time for. Everybody, this is it's been talked about in the Q drops, all left, right, and center, up and down. That how do you bring this evidence to the public? Well, this is one way that they were baited and trapped. That's the Democrat Party, by all means. We had the moves and counter moves with Trump saying, "Oh, that's just a sham. Don't bother with it." Like optics are important, right? So he has to clear himself from this Epstein stuff in a certain way where it doesn't look like he's going after his political enemies. And of course, they all are enemies. They're all psychopaths. And they are trying to take down the United States of America. They're all part of the big cabal. Well, what's a better way to do it than to set a trap and let them walk right into it and expose themselves? And that's what we're seeing right now through the Epstein stuff. So
yeah, we talked about that a while back. I mean, the information's all there. It's the art of war. Also, if you're following Trump's troll accounts like the Poppy Trumpo, IL Donaldo Trumpo, he talked about gave his heads up before the Elon Musk thing happened. So I'd highly recommend you follow those troll accounts. Also, again, the main one's at Poppy Trumpo on X. He's on Rumble also. Puts all this stuff out there. It's pretty easy. Usually download the clips too if y'all want to post those to your social medias. So, we've known about this for a long time again, and we've talked about all these different things. Again, he mentions Epstein on the 2016 campaign trail, which you would never do if you were in any way tied to it. And he said Prince Andrew specifically, and now full circle, 8 years later, or however many years it is, he's stripped of his royal titles. He's not allowed to basically be part of their crew anymore because it's all these accusations are coming out and whatnot. So he does we do the little song and dance, and there's moves and counter moves. Mel had some really good little digs, or at least was forwarding the messages. So I want to read some of those that we had, Mel, if those are in staging still, or where did we see those last night? Because the guy breaks it down really well, and I don't want to misword it, but like the moves and counter moves of, especially knowing they were going to fake things with the Epstein files too. So these multiple release things, and then showing the tactics they use, right? Like how damaging it was about the board or the government shutdown. Then they try to throw it back in his face again here too, and it's all just going to fall flat because white hats are ultimately in control, right? So the fake news media, the black hats, or really again ultimately the white hats, release something with the lady's name redacted, and they're trying to spin that as bad, but it winds up being Virginia Giuffre, or whatever you pronounce her last name. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing it right. Guthrie, I think it is that.
I think Guthrie.
He almost ultimately said she never had any interactions with Trump, and they were trying to use this little, they redacted her name, and it was already unredacted. Like it's something that had already been declassified and unredacted, and then the fake news was putting it out there as like this mysterious person because there was no context in what they said. I mean, that's just some of the things that aren't making any sense. And now Akeem Jeffries took money for his campaign from Epstein, and there's
I've got that clip. I got that clip for you too. We got Representative Comer was on John Sullivan last night, so we'll play that for you, and he explains the whole thing. And he's just smirking, he's smiling as he's talking to John Sullivan, and they know they were trapped. They were trapped into this.
So, and then I see Ian had some stuff saved too with the Muslim. We got Salman bin Salman and then the Muslim Brotherhood stuff. But do we want to go into the Epstein stuff first, or do you have it organized where you can tell me where to go, Tim, or how do you want to do it?
I'll tell you where to go. Well, first and foremost, I want to welcome everybody. And Melzie, I see where you just dropped that new beautiful hoodie. Maybe you could bring that up and show everybody. That is sexy. I got to order one of those for sure. We have the new Qschqql hoodie, Kyle. It's in Diggers. If you want to go to Diggers, just go up to the.
Yeah, I see that. Mel, do you want to add on that? Because I think you have to change that. But
so I have to change it because there's I dropped it too soon. There's a couple changes I need to make on it, but it's a preview of what is coming. So that is an embroidery version. So I'm also working on a screen printed version.
But I won't work embroidered.
Yeah, we like, I don't know, sometimes when they digitize them, it doesn't always turn out right. And so I thought this was a screen printed one. So I'm just going to take these down, guys, but this is what I'm trying to work on for hoodies.
Yeah.
So.
I love the sleeve. The sleeves are awesome, man. The
17 and the Q.
Yeah, that is freaking gorgeous.
And where we go on. So yeah, and that should also be more affordable, I think, too, as well, with the screen pressing, so the embroidered and stuff too. So
yeah, well, Christmas is just around the corner, so sounds like a pretty good
working on it, guys.
We were thinking about. I mean, it's hard to have the expectations or whatever, but everyone shouldn't. Just like you shouldn't be waiting for med beds. But why would Trump mention the $2,000? And we're heading into the holidays, so I have a feeling it might be coming in, December. Who knows? At least one of them. But either way,
So too, I did drop a really good video. If we do go into Epstein right away, this guy, he talks about Epstein and being, it's just his perspective was kind of comical and perfect for right now. If we wanted to
okay,
pull it up and then go into the Epstein stuff at all.
yeah. So the
Yes,
very
Brittany.
bottom one.
So I'm working on yours. That's kind of what I'm doing. So, I'm hoping to get it done like my tomorrow. We'll try
She
and
was
see.
trying to still be working on these things when Qschqql started. I'm like, what are you doing?
Put that down.
focus on the show here. Get engaged, lady. But I
Also,
know.
there's 38 Epstein Q drops on Q Alert. So if you go to qalerts.pub, you type in Epstein in the search box, and you'll come up with 38 drops that you can go through too. We've gone through
Sounds
them
like plenty
many,
to
many
dig
times.
into. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can probably scan through some of those today too, in and around our show. Awesome.
We gotta make these shirts. Look at Sunny. Sunny said too. Send this to your mom. I guess she's assuming the show, but it's like we're gonna get a T-shirt. Your mom's favorite show. There's a lot of moms out there that do love Qschqql. So, good to see everybody. John Tremblay, Cindy, Sunny in the house. SRS, SR Cell, Senior Cell 34. I think you're in Colorado. Firefighter, right? My grandfather was fire chief. I don't know if you caught that on the yesterday. Mag 5, Susan Calloway, Jedi Knickknack, Nicole in the house. I believe there might be an Anon meetup potentially around that. I'll leave that classified for now. Blondie with an extra I. Crispy. Cindy again. Benjamin Danklin. Benjamin Spankin Danklin is back in the house. Thank you, brother. I saw I repost there live. Much appreciated. Much love. I do want to start reading some of Ben Danklin's things to be like the beginning of our shows. Or maybe, Tim, you and I, we haven't had a chance talking and we're all getting settled in. But maybe that hour we were talking about doing like the daily deltas. I want to maybe even just make a little 17-minute section of reading some of Ben Danklin's posts, and then make it a shorter recording or I don't know, something like that. Brittany Stover in the house. Again, also Sunny. What's going on, everybody? Catch up on the comments.
Love, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like and share buttons. And don't be afraid to share. Sharing is caring, folks. So, let's get the word out. It's exciting times, like we said. I mean, now the public, I think, well, obviously the White Hats believe that this is a good time for people to start paying attention to all the stuff that's being declassed. And especially, with this Epstein stuff, everybody's talking about Epstein now all around the world. So, even if they weren't following our information earlier on, they're soon going to find out what it's all about. So this is pretty exciting times right now. And we do have another referral to the DOJ just while we were playing beautiful Cappy 17-minute version. Jack Smith, top deputy, is criminally referred to the DOJ for obstruction of Congress. So we have another one being sent to the DOJ. So we've got some more scumbags being locked and loaded into the rightful way of the law, and that is to take them all down via the law. So there's another one part of the attached to Jack Smith. But maybe just before we go into the Epstein stuff, Kyle, if you go back to Digger, scroll up to live from Studio 6B show. I've got that clip. Play it right from the beginning up until Ben Solomon finished his speaking, because you're going to hear the 17 shout out from last night. And I put.
Was that dropped yesterday then, or is it still today?
No, still today. Yeah.
Diggers?
Diggers. Scroll up to where it says live from Studio 6B. Because I know a lot of people in here don't watch the same shows I watch, the same newscast.
Okay,
this is really interesting.
What's the timestamp?
Start it right from the beginning, because Trump's speaking, and then Ben Solomon comes on, and then the guys from Studio 6B come on and watch the reaction to the 17. Okay. And of course, I've got the meme. I put that beautiful meme together too. Kyle will share that meme too that I put last night. Check.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. How many minutes is this one roughly?
Probably about 8 or 9 minutes. Okay. But I just want to set the stage too, just so you guys understand. I mean, we've talked about this for years, and it goes back to the Q drop that says, what if China, Russia, and others are coordinating with POTUS to eliminate the NWO? Now, Saudi Arabia is a big player in this, on this chessboard, right? As far as the White Hats versus, good versus evil. So when you got bin Salman, and of course, we broke down in length the Las Vegas shooting where they were trying to take bin Salman out. That's the deep state, that is. They were trying to assassinate him. This is after all the main princes and kings of Saudi Arabia were all freaking arrested back in 2017 at the whatever that hotel is, the
Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton, that's the one.
I think
And
publicly it is a little tricky. I think they got arrested like after this. The October 1st was they tried to kill him in Vegas, QPO start, and then early November. But he went to Saudi Arabia first, like in the beginning of the year, so that something might have happened then. The real deal. It's hard to say, but anyways, go ahead.
So while you're watching, this is live at the White House last night. They were having a beautiful dinner. Melania was there, and Elon was there too. A couple other beautiful characters in the play. But you can just see how Trump and bin Salman, MBS, we call him for short, from Saudi Arabia, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, how they bounce off each other, and they have these little smirks and twinkles in their eyes. You could just tell they're working together. This has been going on for a long time, folks. But catch out what he says in this video clip. And that's a shout out to all the Qtards around the world.
Okay, and does bin Salman come into this one or no?
Yeah, he talks right after Trump.
So what you haven't seen yet is Decode, and I had never heard this anywhere, that it's also a shout out across the bow to the deep state, because they had insider information that bin Salman was going to be in a black suit. And according to this little guy telling, and I'd never heard this before, he was in swim trunks and a shirt sleeve or something, which is interesting because we have that footage from Planet Hollywood where all the people with the big heavy artillery are escorting somebody through, which is supposed to be bin Salman, but he's not in. I don't think he's in swim trunks, so I don't know the whole situation. Anyways, just to add to that, sounds like the black suit thing, which was being bet on, which Trump had talked about this, or I don't know if you saw. I saw maybe on that Trump tracker app I have, or the get the little updates, and he was talking about having betting on his, I think it's the Truth Plus, the Truth Social site, right? The Truth Plus, which will have the streaming and stuff, but a betting site, probably like Qschqql, but it'd be things like that. And they were just talking about betting on, there was bets that he would wear a black suit, because think about the things with Zelensky, right? Zelensky first time showed up and he made fun of his outfit. Then he wore like the nice black suit, but then Trump's wearing like the formal black suit, but Mohammed bin Salman wear more of his garb. It's black, but it's not a black suit, you know? So anyways, they're talking about the betting on that. And then supposedly, again, a shot across the bow, he was supposed to be wearing a black suit the night they were going to try to assassinate him. So
and the betting odds, and he talks about the betting odds 17 times. Is he like
17x? Oh, that's right. Yeah. So if he did wear a black suit, you would have won 17x or something, which is pretty high odds. So there's probably other options. So he specifically said black suit, and they specifically got those odds at 17x. So Mel, I think we'll have the thing to read the graphic to add to that. But let's go ahead and go to the audio, unless you have anything, Mel.
Yeah, and check out what the guys from the studios, when they come on right after the speeches, wait till you see how their reaction to this. Watch them for a couple of minutes and you'll get a good laugh, you guys.
Okay, here we go.
At least they can be in peace. It's amazing. It was a miserable period of time. We have 2 more to go, and I think we'll be getting them also. Not easy. That was not easy. Not an easy situation. I've met with many of those parents, and what a time they've had. But we also want to thank all of the people living in Gaza, the residents of Gaza, and they've, as you know, begun to move back to their homes, and a lot more safety. They said today, a lot more safety than they've ever had before. It was a rough neighborhood, to put it mildly, and a lot of progress has been made with respect to Gaza and just about everything else we touch. Just yesterday, the United Nations Security Council formally adopted my peace plan and officially endorsed the Board of Peace. This is a board like no other. It will have the heads of major countries, I think all of the major countries. I hope Your Highness will be on the board. You'll accept, I hope. But the Board of Peace will be something that's never even been thought of before. And it's covering Gaza, but it'll end up covering large portions of the world. And I was honored to be chosen the chair of that Board of Peace, and I think you'll see something that nobody's ever seen before in terms of the status of the board. There will never be a board like the board that we're going to be announcing. Everybody wants to be on the board, and it'll end up being quite a large board because it'll be the heads of every major country, and the United Nations passed it. I guess unanimously, you can say. China, which was against it, took a pass. Didn't vote against it, and Russia, which was against it, didn't vote against it. So we appreciate it, because one negative vote and it doesn't happen. So people were shocked to see that it was approved, and that was a great honor. It's a great honor for me, I will tell you. I think it's something like nobody's ever even imagined. So it's called the Board of Peace, and watch for it because it's going to do some fantastic things. And I know we're both deeply committed to an enduring ceasefire. It grows into the beautiful, lasting peace, and we've got things going at numbers and far ahead of schedule that nobody thought was possible. So, Your Royal Highness, just as my predecessors and so many of the people that you know and love from a long time ago, they bonded with the U.S. and Saudi relationship, which was forged 80 years ago. You and I are strengthening and renewing the alliance, I believe, to levels that were far greater than what they had even 80 years ago, frankly. And we pray that we will be celebrated by our own descendants some days for this incredible relationship that's been built between the United States of America and Saudi Arabia. Someday they maybe will talk about us as being two wonderful men. Forget about great. Wonderful is okay. But two wonderful men that did tremendous work for their countries, and that bond is very important. Our friendship and blessings to America, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and to the world stand out and will always stand out to me. So I look forward to working with you, and we'll be here for 3.25 years. For the Trump, that's like an eternity. You know, for somebody else, that doesn't sound long, but we love doing it. We love, we have an expression, make America great again, and that's what we're doing beyond what anyone even thought possible. So I just want to thank you for being a very big part of it. And I want to thank you for a $1 trillion investment and contribution toward our country. That's a lot of jobs. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please.
Well, it's too hard to speak after Mr. President. No one speaks better than him. But first of all, I will start with thanking Mr. President for the warm and great welcome that we have today. We feel home. And this relation started around close to 9 decades ago with Roosevelt and King Abdulaziz, who established the modern Saudi Arabia. Also, I've known that America is almost celebrating 250 years of establishment. And also in 2 years, we will celebrate in Saudi Arabia 300 years of establishing Saudi Arabia. We've been since the last 9 decades working together in many areas. During the World War II, we was a major supplier for oil during the Cold War, countering extremism, terrorism, but during that time, we've been also working on a lot of economical opportunities. But today, it's a special day. We think the horizon of the economical cooperation between Saudi Arabia and the rest of America, it's bigger and wider in many areas. We've been signing a lot of agreements that are going to open the door to develop the relation deeper in many areas, and we're going to work on it. We believe the opportunities is huge, so we're going to focus on implementation and keep increasing the opportunities between our both countries. So thank you again, Mr. President. Thank you very much. And also, before I come here, someone told me that there is in some of the bidding sites that they are bidding on me wearing black suits, and if you bid on me wearing black suits, I'm coming here with the black suits, they're going to get almost 17x. So I want to tell them, sorry, you lose the bid. Maybe next time. So thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Very much.
There you go, President Trump with MBS at the dinner tonight with the president.
Impressive.
I can't believe they don't have the salad already served.
I like the fact that the Crown Prince is talking about the Qschqql or some odds of what he was going to wear. And he just said to the president, in case you missed that, what he said right there, he said, I wanted to say to everybody who was on the prediction sites that if I wore a black suit, they were going to get 17-1. He said 17x. He said, sorry, you lose the bet.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow.
So he's talking about Qschqql or other prediction sites of what I guess he was going to wear tonight. I mean, that's a pretty crazy moment right there.
Pretty funny.
It is.
17-1, he said.
17-1.
So, well, there you go.
So are you saying that he fixed it so that those people wouldn't win? And
well, I don't know. Obviously, he made it sound like he was aware of the market, obviously. So
he put $1 billion on the under, and he won.
I guess he could have wear a black suit, and those people would have won. But no, he didn't. He wore what he wore, and they lose. So he said, sorry, you lose the bet. I didn't wear a black suit.
He wore what he wore. I didn't know he saw it either.
Thinking about this.
It's crazy, actually.
It is.
Can we go back to that, Aaron, if we have a second? I don't know if we have
They
that somewhere.
go back to it. They don't go back to it.
That's a crazy clip.
That's a crazy
He's
clip.
talking about the betting markets. So, all right. Well, we'll try to effort that a little later.
That's
but
good, Cal.
Well, I hope you
welcome on in live from Studio 6B on a.
Oh, my God. Oh, did I ever crack up when I watched those guys? And, of course, I'm laughing because I'm a Q-tard, and as soon as Ben Solomon said 17X, I knew right away. It's like, and they're laughing, like Trump and MBS are laughing at each other, guys. I mean, why did they throw the 17 out there? Because they're working together.
Yep.
Oh, it's been all along. And these guys here, which is a great news broadcast, Studio 6B. I watch them at 8 o'clock every night. And I know there's one or two. I mean, remember last week we played the one clip with the scruffy guy, you know, the macho Italian kind of guy that comes onto the show a couple times a week. And he mentioned the QAnon. Remember we played that clip last week? So there is one or two of them that do follow or read the Q drops from time to time. But it kind of, that went over their head last night because they were going, what's this 17X thing all about?
Wink, wink, nod, nod, and a wink, wink.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure everybody caught that today. So thanks for letting me play that for you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right on.
So Melzie, let's go back to the Epstein stuff. Melzie's got some stuff. I put that meme too. If you just want to flash that meme up at the bottom of Diggers quickly, and then we'll go to Melzie's video about Epstein.
Okay. Oh, and here's the one thing, the one dig too that she found it. It looks like you have posted it too. This is I wanted to read this one right here. So the same thing. I think this is the part. Let me do this one more time.
Someone told me that there is in some of the bidding sites that they are bidding on me wearing black suits, and if you bid on me wearing black suits and coming here with the black suits, they're gonna get almost 17X. So I want to tell them, sorry, you lose the bet. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Looks like a 17 right there on the thing almost.
It does too. I was looking at that too.
How many coincidences? Mathematically impossible. But then this right here, it said this Prince Mohammed bin Salman trolls the deep state, FBI, CIA about not being able to find him during the 2017 Las Vegas shooting because he wasn't wearing a black suit like they expected. Again, I'd never heard this from any circles.
Look at Melania smiling when he said it. Look at her smile, guys.
Big old smile right there, standing out, facing the only other person kind of facing the camera.
Oh my God, yeah, she's like, oh, that was beautiful, MBS. Yeah, she's not smiling before he said it. Look at the timing.
Yep.
She starts smiling as soon as he talks about it.
Yep. So then it says, someone told me that some of the betting sites are betting on me wearing a black suit. This is exact words. And if you bet on me wearing a black suit or coming here wearing a black suit, they're going to get all 17X, 17 times your money. So I want to tell them, sorry, you lose the bet. So LO, sorry. Maybe next time. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you. The Las Vegas shooting in 2017 was actually a hit on Trump and Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The CIA, FBI, deep state couldn't find the prince because they were betting on him to wear a black suit. Normally he would go in disguise, but I guess maybe he was usually wearing a disguise with some kind of black suit or something. But it says, but he was actually wearing a T-shirt and swim trunks. I've never heard this. I don't know where this came from. If anyone wants to look around for that, I've never heard that before. You know, and I believe it was Planet Hollywood, which was like basically, which is odd because Planet Hollywood's a little ways down from Mandalay Bay. We'll have to do a whole episode on the Las Vegas shooting, kind of show the setting, the scenery of how like Las Vegas is mapped out. We should be on here too, how it's all mapped out and where Mandalay Bay is. And then even the airport's right nearby there. So they were even shooting at the fuel tanks to cause maybe a diversion. There's a whole bunch of, Las Vegas is a head spinner of crazy psyops and what the heck actually happened there kind of situation.
Yeah. Scroll down a little further, Kyle. You'll see my meme that I posted too. Right there. That's what
I like that 17. Yeah.
How did you like that 17, boss?
Look at that. That's totally. That looks like a 17 right there. That light.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
I mean, look at that. How often? And then because the bottom's missing here, so that makes it look like a 17. Totally
Wow.
does. Okay, so now we're gonna move into some. I guess we'll go with Epstein stuff now, but we'll try to weave it back through because there's the Muslim Brotherhood, and then that I think that connects to with Mohammed bin Salman being, back at the White House and dissolving the UN and stuff too. So I do want to cover those things too, but we'll go ahead and start transitioning back into Epstein stuff here. So Mel had this looks like it's from Icons, our buddy Sarge. Here's a short little video. I don't know if this is actually Sarge, but it comes from his channel here.
Uncle Trump does it again. He played their ass again. Oh, bring out the Epstein files. Bring them out. Now that they came out, we found out Trump was the one who actually told on Epstein. Checkmate. I can't wait for the next problem. Oh my God, these fools are hilarious. Damn, so Trump was the whistleblower on the Epstein case. Unbelievable, dog. And y'all can go fact check it. Y'all can go fact check it. Go look at the emails. Go look at those files. Go look at the files. The dude Epstein said it himself. He was 75% sure that Trump had went talked to the police station in Florida on him. Checkmate. Uncle Donnie does it again.
I think they don't know what time it is. Phase 1, way about that. What about very unfortunate phase 2? Qschqql is part of phase 2, everyone. Very unfortunate phase 2. February 23rd.
That was awesome, Melzie. Yeah, nice clip. Yeah, I love it. People are catching on. I mean, there's not just us, but I mean, there's literally millions of people around the world that are laughing just like he is, because it has to be this way in order to help wake up our family, friends, co-workers, people that are still unfortunately controlled by the Mockingbird media, which is the brain spell, the information warfare. But it's coming, folks. One drip at a time, one little D-class at a time. So yeah,
we didn't fall asleep overnight. We got programmed since birth, pretty much. So we're unraveling all that programming. Takes some time. Some of y'all are the front lines and stuff. So have compassion, have understanding, keep healing yourself. That'll help heal the planet. And the more we plant seeds and do things like this, and if y'all out there spreading our shows or creating your own poetry, artwork, or memes and stuff, keep sharing more of that. Jay got kicked off of Instagram like many of us several years back, and he just never got back on. I talked to him to get back on, and he just talks about how different it is, the algorithms, like how much information we're able to share now. The reels are all streamlined and faster. The story posts, like the information is just flowing so much faster. There's no more restrictions and stuff. So everyone's seeing this information, even if they're trying to hide from it. They're on the social medias, and it's coming across their page occasionally. You know what I mean? And that's just it's all seeping in there, and they know they're being lied to. And we keep exposing the dumb shit, and maybe somebody's deep in their echo chambers, which we all can to be a certain degree. The social medias are designed that way with their algorithms. The more you like stuff or even get upset about something, they're going to give you either of those, right? The things you're pissed off about or the things you like, the things you interact with. So just be mindful of that, but keep charging ahead, hold the line, and keep speaking the truth, and people are understanding it, and it's crumbling. And then also take action. That's the other part of it. And maybe that action is just spreading a fucking meme instead of sitting there just learning this stuff. It's time to start sharing it or taking action. Get involved locally, school boards, election offices, right? Find out where your local election is and see if you can help out in this next election. That's something, I don't know, Mel, we might have to do for 2026 or something. We'll see where the caravan's going, but maybe we'll be telling people to get involved. And I guess we got to do it ourselves too, right?
Amen.
We'll find out. It's a journey. So if you feel that calling, I'd say to anybody, like I said before, I kept thinking I could inspire people with my ideas, but the truth is, who would better present the ideas that I have? And also all the things that we've learned on this journey, the common person doesn't know the things that we've learned. So if it's tugging at your heart, I would say, think about it, and pursue it. If you want, because we need good people to step up into these places.
Yeah, well said, Melzie. Well said. Yeah, it's time to get involved. We've been shouting from the rooftop for at least the last couple of months here, especially our daytime program. Since we went to the daytime slot, and it makes more sense now to to really start getting involved in your local elections and getting involved somehow, some way, whether it's, maybe starting your own podcast if courageous enough to open up and for your family and friends, and bring this information that you're learning, that you've been learning all along, and bring it in and package it in a nice little bow and a nice presentable way for your family and friends and coworkers. But obviously lead by example by getting involved in your local communities. And the more of us that stand up, it's like flipping the table. It's like Jesus flipping the table. When we the people take our power back and flip the table, it's over. It's done. Evil's done. They're finished, and they're never coming back. So
that's right. That's what we're standing for. And we got to put the money where I don't know how you say that. Money where your mouth is, or I can't.
Kyle for Congress, Cindy says. I agree. Kyle, run for Congress. Let's go. Yeah, Kyle for Congress. It has a rhyme to it. What do you think, Kyle? You're muted. He's speechless, Cindy. He's speechless.
Muted myself on that one. Thank you, guys. I saw some people over on Instagram. I wanted to pass that word on to CeeLo. Sometimes if you're still getting restricted, I think you're supposed to get off the app for a little bit. Take a break from everything. That's just my personal advice, because it doesn't really make any sense why we'd be restricted right now. Some things we are, some things we aren't, but a lot of weird stuff too going on with the devices. So I don't really know, but don't be afraid to take a break if you need a break, or a rest and rejuvenate for a minute. Hop off the socials. So anyways, that was the Instagram side. Some people were friends were talking about somebody that's been censored still. So we want to go into some more of the Epstein stuff.
Yeah. A good way to lead in is to go up on Diggers up to the John Solomon clip, and you can start that John Solomon at the 6 minute and 20 second mark, 6:20. He brings on Comer from the House Intelligence Committee, and part of the and I didn't know this, but part of the bill that they passed the House and Senate yesterday, guys, it also includes a section in it where not only are they releasing the information, but there will be a digital where everybody, the public, can click on it. Like there'll be a link for everybody to go in and read it themselves. So this is the most perfect way to put it out to the public. So whatever they have, whatever they're releasing through their vote in the House and Senate and Trump's to sign it, that will be available for everybody in the world to watch. And you just have to click on a link and voila, there's your Epstein stuff. And you take it for what it is. Use your own discernment, use your own research, use the Q drops too. And we are going to bring some of those up for you today. We got 38 Epstein Q drops, and man, oh man, can you ever go down a rabbit hole with those ones? But it's going to be available for all of us, publicly speaking. Exciting.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay, so we'll play this John Solomon clip.
Yeah, from the 6:20 mark right up until when Comer's finished speaking, and then I'll set up the next clip for later on in the show. We'll see what Melzie think. Okay.
Mel, anything?
Nope. Let's watch it.
Speech on the floor. He's the man that will oversee this, as well as so many other important oversight investigations. The chairman of that committee, James Comer. Mr. Chairman, great to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So one of the great dirty secrets is that the Epstein was a bank for the Democrats. The Epstein machinery was a bank for Democrats for a long time, and they kept soliciting him even after he was a sex offender convicted in Florida. Tell us what you know and what you expect to find out with the new subpoenas you dropped on banks today.
Well, just so you know the overall current events of this investigation, over 2 months ago, I met with many of the victims who are up in the gallery today during this discharge petition vote. They were pleading and begging for us to subpoena the estate. I did that. I subpoenaed the estate as chairman of the House Oversight Committee. We've gotten every document in. There was nothing in those documents about Donald Trump that implicated him in any wrongdoing. There was no new information whatsoever about Donald Trump. But what was in the documents was two sitting members of Congress, both Democrats, that were, one was soliciting money from Epstein after he'd been convicted of being a sex offender, and that was Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader who's been on TV nonstop demanding more transparency on the Epstein investigation. And then the other was Stacey Plaskett, the Democrat from the Virgin Islands, who was texting with Jeffrey Epstein during an oversight committee hearing where I was sitting 2 chairs down from her, didn't know who she was texting with. And she was texting with Epstein. They were colluding, trying to embarrass and hurt Donald Trump. So the evidence, the new evidence that came out from the estate was that Democrats were working with Epstein, that media journalists were working with Epstein, all for one purpose, to try to embarrass Donald Trump. And we also learned that Hakeem Jeffries, the main Democrat in the House now, the new Nancy Pelosi, that he was actually soliciting Epstein for money. So nothing bad about Trump, only bad stuff about the Democrats. We'll see where this investigation goes, but we've been subpoenaing documents and turning everything over to the American people, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Chairman, this seems like a really stupid gamble. It's like a political and twisted version of storage wars. Democrats have been clamoring to buy this storage unit, but they have no idea what's in it. Do you anticipate that, and as Sean said, could be folks on both sides of the aisle who are very, very nervous tonight, but how long will it take, now that it's passed, how long will it take for everything to get dumped on the American people?
Well, I've subpoenaed the documents already. This discharge petition wasn't necessary. I subpoenaed Pam Bundy a month ago, and they've been cooperating with us. But what people have to understand, there are a lot of class action lawsuits taking place right now between law firms representing victims of Epstein Island. Then you have ongoing criminal investigation. The grand jury testimony, that has to be released by a judge. In fact, the Trump administration asked a judge to release some of the grand jury testimony, and the judge, who was an Obama appointee, denied it. So I think the Trump administration has been more cooperative than what they're getting credit for in the media. But now that this discharge petition's passed, which really didn't change anything at all, I think we're going to get all the information. Even some of it that's probably not supposed to be released because of ongoing investigations. I believe that everything will come out, and the Democrats have no idea what's in these documents. They didn't know what was in the estate. They're fishing, and they really want us not to comply so they can say we're covering up or we're hiding. So I have no idea what other information will come out, but if it's like what came out of the estate, it's not going to be good for the Democrats.
Yeah, they may have caught a whale that eats them. It'll be very interesting to see what happens on that fishing expedition. Mr. Chairman, there are 2 very important people that you subpoenaed early on, or excuse me, that you asked to voluntarily cooperate. They didn't schedule their interviews. Now there's a subpoena. But Bill and Hillary Clinton, if they continue to duck you, will you take them to court? Will you try to enforce a subpoena? Will you go the Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro route?
100%. We're going to go that route. We expect to hear from Bill and Hillary Clinton. Look, Donald Trump's answered questions for years about Jeffrey Epstein. Every day he gets asked questions about Epstein, and he answers them in front of the American people.
Every day.
We've subpoenaed Republicans and Democrats. 2 Republicans have come forward, Bill Barr and Alex Acosta. They did interviews and deposition, and those were tough, but they did them. They didn't back down. Other Democrats have sent letters that saying they knew nothing about Epstein, which would hold in court if something ever comes out that they did know something, then they've committed perjury there. But the Clintons have never responded. They're the one group in this investigation that's never had to answer questions in front of a credible reporter, and they've never certainly answered questions from attorneys or members of Congress. So we expect the Clintons to come in, or I expect the Clintons to be met with the same fate that Bannon and Navarro were met with when the Democrats were in control.
Well, and I'm curious because Democrats have been very, very vocal about these files being released. So does that mean that they would be supportive of making sure that the Clintons came forward to testify?
They don't want the Clintons to testify. They've not lifted a finger to help get the Clintons in. They were quick to demand Acosta testify and Bill Barr testify. They're always Trump, 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 but they don't say a word about Democrats. But I'll tell you this, they hate Trump so much, they would be willing to give up Bill Clinton and Barack Obama and Hakeem Jeffries if it meant having a scalp from Donald Trump. So, look, the Democrats have Trump derangement syndrome. they're just hoping and praying that there's something in these documents somewhere. They don't know where, but somewhere that would implicate Trump. And what's sad about that is the Republicans on the Oversight Committee, and I think the Republicans in the House of Representatives, we want transparency. We're not hiding anything. We want every name released. We want every document made public. But at the end of the day, our goal is to get justice for the victims of Epstein and Maxwell, and to figure out who in the government's responsible for not apprehending Epstein and Maxwell sooner. But the Democrats' objective is onefold. They want to try to get Donald Trump. They don't know how. They don't know in what way. They just hope and pray that their Hail Mary is caught in the end zone at the last second, and there's something in there pertaining to Donald Trump. And that's sad, and I hope the American people are seeing the hypocrisy of the Democrats throughout this whole Epstein thing. Because remember, they had 4 years under Joe Biden. They could have released the document any given day, and they never cared about that until there was some Twitter chatter that maybe Donald Trump was on the Epstein list.
Amazing. So I want to ask about the federal government. I think a lot of people look back. We wrote a whole series in 2021 on this about the failure to really prosecute him when they had the first evidence in 2007 and 8. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami.
Listen to this part, guys. This is interesting.
Sort of a light deal. Have you learned anything from the Acosta interviews that would explain why in 07 and 08 a more aggressive federal prosecution didn't occur?
Yeah, and let me be clear. I'm not defending Acosta. I think they dropped the ball. I think they had an opportunity and they missed it. So in no way am I defending Acosta. But I will repeat what he said, and it's in the transcript. He was asked by both Republicans and Democrats specific questions about why Epstein didn't get a more harsher sentence. And he said that they had, a couple dozen girls that they interviewed. A majority said that Epstein and Maxwell were horrible people, but there were several that testified that Epstein and Maxwell did nothing wrong and that the others were lying. And then Epstein had the best attorneys. He had the equivalent of an O.J. Simpson legal team. And he was concerned about whether or not they would win in court. And he thought that declaring Jeffrey Epstein a sex offender would be a victory, even though that he wasn't going to have to serve very much time in prison. So that was Acosta's excuse. I'm not defending that. I don't think that's a good excuse. I think that's a punt, but that's what he said. And there's probably lots of instances of prosecutors in both parties throughout history that were concerned as to whether or not they were going to win in court when there were witnesses testifying both ways, and the people they were prosecuting, or the person they were prosecuting, had the best legal team money could buy.
Yeah. Sir, before we let you go, I know obviously this is a huge issue for the American people, especially as far as transparency, but also making sure that the government shrinks during these 4 years that President Trump is in office. You guys have done a great job of collaborating with DOJ to look at inefficiency, waste, fraud, and abuse, all of that stuff. Moving forward, once we get beyond this Epstein saga, tell us about what your plans are.
Well, we've got to reduce the size of the federal government. There are too many agencies doing offering repetitive services. We saw during COVID, when many of these agencies didn't see their workforce for years, that the American taxpayer can survive just fine without them. To provide salary and benefits for life for these federal employees that work in these agencies that are obsolete or overbloated with personnel, it's pretty disgusting. We're doing everything we can to work with this administration to get some type of reduction in force by proving agencies are obsolete, or agencies have abused their power, or agencies are overbloated. And we're going to continue to do that, and hopefully we can see some reduction in force. Look, there are government agencies that are doing great work that probably need more employees, but there are a whole lot of government agencies that we don't need, and they either need to be slashed significantly or eliminated altogether. And that's what our goal is from this point on, to try to work not only to identify waste, fraud, and abuse, but to do something about it. To do something about it would be to significantly reduce government spending and the size of the federal workforce.
The president today gave us a blueprint for getting rid of the education department, outsourcing it to other agencies. Do you think Congress will codify that?
I hope so. I think so. I mean, who's not for local decision making? The whole U.S. Department of Education is an unnecessary level of bureaucracy. But I want to say this. There are a lot of federal funds that flow to state departments of education and local departments of education. I want to see that federal money continue to flow. Many of your title programs in public education are federally funded. So you take school system like the one where my kids go to school, federal funds account for about 20% of their overall budget. So we want the federal funds to keep flowing. We just want to eliminate the bureaucracy at the U.S. Department of Education and the poor decisions they make on everything from curriculum to staffing that, some fat cat bureaucrat in Washington's trying to tell some rural school district in Kentucky. That's not what we want. So get rid of the bureaucracy, get rid of all those unnecessary bureaucrats, but allow the federal funding to go straight to the state departments of education and let's have local decision making.
I met a teacher who said for 42 days, the education department was closed and all of our kids kept learning in our school district. It works fine without the bureaucrats.
Yep.
Yeah. Congressman, Mr. Chairman, great to have you on the show. Congratulations on another big day of oversight. Sure appreciate you having you on.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, folks, a quick commercial break. When we come back, North Carolina Congressman Pat Harrigan will be with us to discuss the ongoing immigration enforcement efforts in Charlotte. Over 140 people arrested in the first trial, making that city a lot safer. We'll have that next, right after these messages.
That's good, Kyle. Are you there?
We've moved so.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, that was, I don't know what you guys thought, Melzie. That was pretty, where'd Kyle go? Anyway, there was a couple things I got from that conversation with James Comer. Obviously, they're it's almost like they're 5 steps ahead of the Democrats, obviously, and they did trap them in order to get the Epstein files out, where it looks like Trump didn't force the issue. As a matter of fact, Trump was holding off, and everybody was questioning. Even people in our movement are going, why is Trump not allowing them? Really? Because he needed to back off. He can't be front and center. It's got to come from other sources. And in this case, it was the Democrats. But did you see, Melzie, where it made me think of what you brought up yesterday about libel lawsuits? There was, when they mentioned the civil law, when he mentioned all the numerous civil lawsuits going on behind the scenes. I mean, civil lawsuits is in the Q drops, just saying, right?
It is.
Yep. What you doing, Kyle? You bird hunting out there? Or what?
The rain that just started, so we're trying to.
Oh no!
Get a little protection. The sun's coming out now, so it's all over.
And then the other thing I caught too. Remember yesterday we were talking about kind of the same kind of conversation, but the fact that Hillary and Bill Clinton refused this subpoenas from the investigative House committee, right? And and John Solomon asked him. And basically referred to what we were talking about yesterday about Bannon and Navarro, how they were, remember when they refused from the bogus J6 committee, and they were thrown in jail for doing that, folks. Yes. And now you've got Bill and Hillary Clinton refusing to honor the subpoenas that, they're pushing against the subpoenas. And just based on what James Comer just said there in that interview last night on John Solomon's show, is that they're going at him hardcore. They're going to take him down.
Do you think then they could be thrown in jail for that?
Yeah, it's a federal charge. I mean,
and that would be maybe more of a softball introduction to D class. Do you think, like the hardcore stuff of Frazzle Drip and all that? Maybe.
Oh man, that's just the opening. Yeah, well, that's another can of worms. But that's why, like, today's title is perfect. Boomerang suicide. Like, what's one way they can save the taxpayers some money, right? And even in the Q drops, it says. Even God can't save you, or you can't run and hide from God, or something like that. I forget how the Q drop goes, but it's about them suiciding themselves. So don't be surprised, folks, and don't be in shock when you start to see certain headlines probably in the near future, because all of this is coming out in a way where the deep state knows they're foobarred. They're done. I mean, they can't stop this wave of D-class and information and investigation work, grand juries being set up. Everything is just boom, 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 boom. And they know they're being cornered and they got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. What's the next step, folks? They can't leave. because the military's got the borders sealed, right? And they're probably watching for the flights in and out and stuff like that. They're not going to, it even tells you in the Q drops, what if they try to escape, right? And via plane and that, it ain't happening. So the next step for them is to just basically take themselves out. So don't be surprised if you start seeing some of that stuff happening.
Or maybe some of these, cancellations that were happening were them trying to flee, and they're not going to tell us like we're shutting it down and everybody's fleeing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to know that. So there is panic in DC, and there's panic around wherever there's corruption, right? So some of those big cities, maybe that they're infested into, maybe they were trying to get on some planes and get out of Dodge. Yep. And so then they use that opportunity with, it's the shutdown of the country, and that's why the planes are canceled. I mean, that never made sense to me. They would have to have some type of emergency funding for the people that are working there, right? And that they weren't just showing up to work and stuff. I just didn't buy that. So I think because it's such, like, you have to have a controller there to bring planes in. It's not like you can just not show up and then maybe they'll land, So I think there was more to that whole thing going on than what we knew about, and maybe we'll find out later. Like a lot of the military works in stealth, so they work in undercover. They're never going to disclose to us what they're doing, but we do know we know pieces of the game plan through the Q posts, right?
Yep. That's right. Well said. Yeah. And thanks, Rita, in the chat for she DM'd me that it's a 4:44 – 44-second clip about the Las Vegas shooting, Kyle. If you guys, it looks pretty cool.
Did you forward it? Did you forward it over?
It's in the bottom of Diggers. It's the bottom of Diggers. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
And it's when he's wearing his shorts, apparently, the T-shirt and shorts that you were talking about.
This might even be, is this negative 48 also? We'll see.
I think so. I'm not sure. It's got gematria in it.
Oh, yeah. Smile, love, gematria. That's a good one.
Okay.
It was October 1st. And it was called the Harvest 91 concert. And Harvest was cut down. Well, 91 is POTUS. Cut down POTUS. Because, see, POTUS was in Vegas that day to meet Mohammed bin Salman, the new to-be king of Saudi Arabia. See, his father had Alzheimer's, and he was the king, and that system was bad, and he had to go. And MBS, well, he was going to work with Trump. He's the one that went around to all the corporations afterwards and met with all the business leaders and told them, hey, we're taking all our money out. All that money that we owe them, that they just, made all this money on overpriced oil because we had all kinds of wars, which was never going to hurt them. So anyway, the guy that wanted to be king, the guy that paid for Barack Obama's Harvard schooling, Alawid bin Talal, well, he owns the top 4 floors in Mandalay Bay called the Four Seasons with Bill Gates, where the shooting took place on the 32nd floor. I think Mirror 23, Fake 23. Because they weren't there to shoot the people. They were there to shoot the fuel tank. The fuel tank got hit twice. Again, Stephen Paddock. Stephen means crown. And, well, Paddock, well, everybody was in a fenced area. And, of course, he had a 13 tattoo on his neck, but the dead body didn't. And the coroner said he was, dead for, he died at like noon or something, some crazy time. But see, the FBI had to keep it under wraps because it's about national security. So if you put yourself in the middle of the concert, back up a little bit, move all the way over to that open gate over there at about 8:30. If you're standing right there and you watch the concert, you'll hear a thud and hit the thickened edge at the very top. Because see, at the top you'll have fumes. And they were trying to blow up the fuel tank because right between the private landing strip at McLaren and the Excalibur, the sword from Saudi Arabia, the Excalibur, where Mohammed bin Salman was gambling, where we saw him run through walk fast through the airport on that night with 6 guys with long rifles, because nobody walks through a casino with long rifles unless you're Mohammed bin Salman. And he was gambling there to beat Trump. And they were trying to blow up that fuel tank, and they hit the extra thickened edge. So he lowered it, and later he heard a second thud. This is before the shooting. And then all of a sudden, because you're sitting at that gate and it's kind of open because nobody's standing right in front of the gate, here come all these people running towards the gate before the shooting. Running towards that gate. No kidding. And then all of a sudden, it starts like speakers. It sounded like the speakers were making noises. But if you were really looking close, you could look up in the sky and you could see all those rotor quiet, like SEAL Team 6 helicopters, when they went and got Osama bin Laden, whatever. They're all nice and quiet. And you can see them up in the sky. You can see all these little white flashes. There was a war going on inside Vegas that night.
It was like a war zone, honestly.
Because if you listen to the 911 calls, you would have heard down the street shooting at Mandalay Bay. The Venetians, yeah. So there's people down there, under the tables, glass broken, bullets flying. You could hear the 911 tape. If you listen to the 911 tape that night, you could hear shootings all over Vegas because they were trying to get the cops to go everywhere except for where they were needed, because they needed to kill Mohammed bin Salman, the future king of Saudi Arabia, who was there to meet President Trump. Because if you look at the cue boards, you type in LV, Las Vegas, and Air Force One, AF1, you will see POTUS was there on a private plane with a private tail number. Even though they mention it there in the cue boards, they don't really talk about it because the world can't find out that there's a war going on between the devil and God right in front of everybody, right between the good guys and the bad guys.
We need your truck. We just need to get people over to the hospital, okay?
Okay, go ahead. Put them all in the back.
Okay. Can you pull over towards the side over there? You know what? This person right here.
If everybody finds out the Orange Man bad, Trump is taking down the 1700-year control the system, Phoenicians and Khazarians, well, they always win, and they can't find that out. So it was kept on the lowdown.
On the lowdown.
Wow.
So I had
I remember watching that a long time ago. Thanks for that, Rita. That was good. That was good timing, actually, for that. What do you got, Kyle?
Yeah, I just was looking for some pictures of the strip here. So down here is the Mandalay Bay. That's again at the very end. It's actually shaped like a Y. So Q talks about where's the Y symbolism. So the Mandalay Bay looks like a Y, and again, these top 4 floors are considered the Four Seasons special suites, and they're owned separately from the Mandalay Bay. So I guess that maybe like leased or however that works. But so that would be not bin Salman. Was it bin Salman? Yeah, bin Salman, or was it still the Alawid guy? Maybe
Alawid owned the top 4 floors.
Okay, Alawid. That's right. Yeah, because this is where the shooting was. There's also another SA we don't mention, is Sheldon Adelson. He's a major Las Vegas casino magnate, owns several different casinos. But the one thing I wanted to show here was this is where the shooting was. Supposedly the windows weren't broken out. There's so much like layers to this whole thing, but they were across the street. I believe this way is where the country music is, and then if you go farther off right camera, like a mile or so away, is the Las Vegas airport. So they're firing out there to cause a diversion. This is more recent photos. So this the football stadium here. This looks like it's getting built here in this image. It's now built, but I don't believe it was around. I'm trying to think what this one is. I thought this was like New York. Oh, there's New York. So that's, maybe I'm even confused how far Mandalay Bay is. Mandalay Bay is a ways away though. Okay, so if you go all the way up the strip here, this is it's been so long since I've been here. But Venetian would be like way down here. So, and other people that were there, this isn't the best resolution images either. I think it's like the Bellagio. But anyways, the Venetian is way away. And other people that were there talked about they were hearing gunshots up and down the street all over. So that would make sense. They would maybe use speakers or have actual people shooting up, your MS-13 gang members. But people were hearing gunshots everywhere up the strip. That makes sense to confuse the cops because you see that on their radio. They have no idea. They're confused where the shots are coming from. We also see a helicopter shooting, very precise shots, not sporadic. It's like, boom, boom, boom. I believe those are the white hats. I saw some sort of thing on it yesterday. They were making it seem like it was black hats, but I believe the black helicopters were the white hats because it was very specific, precise shooting. Like, bup, 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 bup. Wasn't just like sporadic.
Be reverbing too, like off those big buildings. So it could, like if you hear that, it could be reverberating off of the building. So
right.
Could have intensified the sound, but I did see like the helicopter that had like firing coming out. So just think the operation to put that together. It's not like that just a couple guys came in, the lone shooter, like didn't they say it was a lone shooter there too? I
Yeah, in
think.
the Q drop. In the Q
Yeah.
drop. Yep. Yep. Wearing the number 13. Interesting.
He had 13 on?
Yeah. That's what it said in that video. He had a 13 tattooed on his neck or something.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so we're an hour and 20 in. We covered Vegas pretty good. That's the whole thing. I think we should head into Epstein if we can now.
Yep. Yep.
Got a bunch of
Yeah.
different stuff in there.
Yeah, hit
So
some
this
Epstein drops. Yep.
Okay, so this is random. Check this out. I was on X, and Lewis Herms, because actually Aaron was mentioned that Andrew said something about knowing me. So Lewis Herms was running. What was the name of it? It's Screw Big Gov. Let's see what else he got here. I honestly think this guy was a baseball coach, but this is a trippy thing because when I finally met Lewis at that event with Andrew, Andrew's out there. He lives close to Mar-a-Lago, but he came all the way to Reno on this Unity Tour thing. Or I get it mixed up. I think it's still called Unity Tour. Anyways, I met Lewis. He's running for governor of California now. Look at We the People. That's like my shirt, Tim, that Andrew gave me that shirt. It was We the People Are the Plan. It was written just like that. So that's Lewis is actually running for governor now. I know this guy. He's running for governor of California. So that's super crazy. I don't know. I just messaged him. I got to text him, but maybe I'll work my way to California and maybe help him out somehow. I don't know. Anyways, but and then I'll try to find the show that I was on with those guys, Andrew and them. They have a Rumble channel. I'll try to find where it was. But I came on there and I just saw that he's running for governor. So pretty interesting. But he had a good dig here about Ron Burkle and Epstein stuff. So I'm going to use Lewis Herms' dig here. So y'all follow him. Lewis Herm, candidate for governor of California. It's at Louis, Lewi on X. Go follow him, guys. So here's the little dig on here. Did Bill Clinton, P. Diddy, and Ron Burkle? Remember, I was talking about Ron Burkle. I thought he was the CEO of the Wheels Up company. Can somebody verify that? I think General Apex was on Instagram. If you're still there, General, Cindy, Brittany, and the diggers around there. If Ron Burkle was the CEO of, I believe it was called Wheels Up, private plane company serving islands and stuff like that.
And that's in the Q drops. Wheels up in the kill brackets, right? Wheels up in the Q bracket
only 2 wheels up. Actually, let's show that real quick too, because that's a cool thing to show. So we had Boomerang here, 7 Boomerang drops. We'll come back to that. Let me open one more tab here and show wheels up, because there's only 2 of them. Wheels up. So as you see, only 2 wheels up Q posts. So I'm going to do this.
You got to show it on the screen.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Thank you.
There you go.
Flip this one. We're going to go reverse, though. 3423, July 12th. Wheels up in the kill box. Flight logs, class 1-99. Under investigation by FBI and DOJ? Question mark?
Interesting. Very interesting. You okay over there, brother?
It's the most random times they doing this shit. Okay, so wheels up again in the kill box. So again, this is a company, and it's also a term when you're in the flight industry. Is wheels up is basically when you're taking off. You take off, wheels up, and that's also the start time. The start time of the flight is considered wheels up to wheels down. So there's wheels up, but then there's a company that I believe Ron Burkle is the CEO. That was this Wheels Up company, and they have flight logs to islands, and they service wealthy private clients. So, anyways, here's 3414. So think about MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, talking about 17X, other things like this. It fits perfectly on 7. This is from July 11, 2019. Only anons can fully appreciate the continued validations and confirmations through covert series of mathematically impossible coincidences means in order to maintain structural integrity. Wheels up. So this is literally about like holding the line, right? We get so many confirmations that let us know this is part of the plan. White hats are in control so that we can hold the line together, the structural integrity of the movement of our mission as we move forward. And then us has to be the ones that dig these things up and find it. So we could get the Wheels Up logs. I've talked about that for a few months now. Maybe we can get those logs, because the full Epstein logs can't be shared, right? Because it's intelligence agencies, and that could cause world wars. So we have to look for these other examples and other things we can get things disclosed. We also have Ghislaine Maxwell's submarine and helicopter logs that we've never had. We've never seen those. So maybe we can ask for those somewhere, or maybe they've been declassified, or maybe they're going to come up in some of their court case. So I just want to add that.
Yep. No, that's good. Is there a construction site going on outside you guys right now? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they got to go. They got to decide to do construction right in the middle of Qschqql.
It could be worse. They could be blowing those whistles. That's what the activists are doing now, right? All the retards out there. They blow whistles.
I still got my R whistle. Maybe I'll bring my whistle. I'll blow the construction guys.
That's all right. No, you're coming through okay. You're still coming through loud and clear, bro. All
right, so maybe you can read some of this when this is going on. Let's see here.
Melzie's what are you going to do? Melzie, you got to unmute yourself. Or
yeah, what are you going to do? Okay, he's going their way. Here's someone keep reading this. Did Bill Clinton, P. Diddy, and Ron Burkle traffic children through a Beverly Hills mansion? I'm Louis Herms. I was in this historic mansion in 1993, known as Green Acres, and in the tunnels beneath. God put me in odd places throughout 3 decades as to make this reveal today. So I believe that's Ron Burkle right there. There's this mansion he's talking about. So number 2 here. I was a troubleshooter for a drain cleaning firm that serviced Ron Burkle's grocery stores. My buddy and I got a weird gig to test drains and plumbing at home that Burkle was buying. Green Acres is the name of it. So green pops up again. Oh, especially the missing E. Somebody's talking about the missing E, but for Evergreen. Oh, Cindy on that dig. I read the comments after the show. Evergreen's a really good one too, because that's also how Trump spelled the green without the E. So, but the E in the kill brackets, because it's missing, could be Evergreen, also connected to Hillary Clinton. So great dig on that too, Cindy. You wanted to add that. But so he did this plumbing. This is Louis Herms running for California governor, a friend of mine. And I went on a tour show with him when he stopped in Reno. That's where I got the shirt. And then maybe I'll play that video I did at the next.
It's interesting. Rally. He says, I was a troubleshooter. And he was pegged as the shooter in Las Vegas, correct?
No, this guy, yeah. Well, not this guy. This guy's currently running for governor of California. This isn't the guy. I got you. Yeah. But this.
He also bought Neverland.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going. There's something about that, right? Yeah. So Burkle was buying Green Acres, a 45,000 square foot mansion snagged for $20 million after a $19 million discount. Okay, did the property lose that much value, or is this more money laundering? So here's this master mansion here with a compound and tunnels that the man running for California governor is telling you exists. We were told to find issues to help Burkle cut into the agreed price. Okay, so they send in a team probably to inspect the mansion to lower the price. Okay, this is what rich people do. The mansion was unoccupied, yet security tailed us every step we took. I called Burkle and said they are slowing us down and it will cost you. He pulled them back, giving us freedom to explore the estate. Outside, we found a tiny house with working plumbing fit for kids and a full carousel. Innocent then, sinister now. A hidden entrance and service road out back. For some reason, Google has blurred out the front gate and removed the name of the street that backs up the estate. So this looks like Google Images, almost looks like a little gnome house right there. Oops. There's the carousel. This one's a little blurred out. And then this one's actually blurred out by Google Earth or whatever it was. Inside, 2 huge kitchens, black game room and restroom. In the library, I joked about a hidden door. We actually found one behind the bookcase. Stairs led down to a tunnel reeking of cedar. Screening room, playroom, and a locked metal door. Where did the door lead? So here's some, he got some images from Grok from this estate. There's the hidden door in the bookcase. This looks like a movie theater. A little dark here for you guys. Maybe that's just my screen. That's a like billiards room, game room. Real dark though. And there's the Freemason floor too, where looks like the bathroom. Fast forward 30 years, I met a woman, ex-wife of a huge star who knew Green Acres and Burkle. She went pale when I mentioned it. Said Burkle hosted elite parties, greedy psychopath parties. He bought the estate as it was his ticket to Hollywood producer status. Next, she revealed Clinton's story. Bill Clinton was a regular at Burkle's charity event. So this is now what Trump is talking about. What's all the connections with Bill Clinton, which we've known about forever, but why have we been avoiding it? Again, now everybody all of a sudden the left wants to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Bill Clinton was a regular at Burkle's charity event. After guests left during his presidency, he'd swap Secret Service teams and stay a week, probably using a double too if you think the president disappears for a whole week. Although that's 90s before really the internet and stuff, so maybe he could back then. Right? Trump disappears for 48 hours and they think he's dead or something, right? So he'd stay a week while we thought he was in Martha's Vineyard. Then underage girls arrived for days of debauchery and drugs. Did they ever leave, right? Did they actually leave, or were they taken down below for darker things? Okay, was that locked door a tunnel to the Playboy Mansion or the Getty? Clinton visited Green Acres often, even for fundraisers. It is said that Ron Burkle and Bill Clinton were besties. So this is the Playboy Mansion here on the left, and this is the Getty Museum on the right, which we are going to occupy at some point. Anons will do this. There's even a thing called Occupy Getty. So we're all going to get in there and storm that shit. So we're going to do that sometime in the near future. Just FYI. So there's those two things. I'm going to keep going here with this post. How about Diddy? 100% yes. He's Burkle's close pal. Ron Burkle is godfather to Diddy's kids. He invested $100 million in Diddy's company, Sean John. They threw a joint birthday bash with Kanye, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Leo DiCaprio, and the Kardashians. Did Diddy abuse Bieber at this mansion? So there's Diddy right here and little Bieber in the middle of all of it. There's the Diddy parties. There's Jay-Z. Looks like Kanye, Kardashian. Who's that? Pamela, maybe. I'm not sure who those are. Okay, remember that cedar stench? Over 200 cubic feet of shelves underground for like the wine cellar. In the 90s, it could throw off the scent of search dogs. Coincidence? Hollywood's elite satanic club demands sacrifice, humiliation, pedophilia, child sex changes, and even murder of a family member. That's pretty common. Other people have talked about this. You got to sacrifice somebody super important to you. Anybody really famous, if you look into them, they lost somebody really close to them, a mother, a sibling, a best friend, you name it. Okay, so here's this cedar, like a closet, I guess, but they'd also use it for wine cellars. There's the search dog. Okay, Ron Burkle's son, Andrew, died. So Ron Burkle had a son named Andrew, died at 26 in Beverly Hills. The cause of death has never been disclosed. Media and even his brother at the time said Andrew was 27. Most proof has been removed from Google. This revelation would tie him to the 27 Club. Suspicious? Time to dig. Louis Herms, candidate for governor of California, says. So there's some of our friends all died at 27. Allegedly. All right, just a couple more of these here. Burkle might send his lawyers or goon squad after me. Corrupt law enforcement may raid my home to silence me. I'm ready, and the witnesses will be revealed if this happens. Kash Patel, give me a call. You have my number. So Louis Herms, puts his money where his mouth is the term, Mel, by the way. And he went on tour with his own money and went on a tour bus and been doing shows and has a podcast and doing thing. And now he's running for governor. And he was able to swing by Reno, and I got to pop on their show. So thank you again, Louis.
I talked to him.
Okay. And I think I know him from previous, unless I met him in the community, but I feel like I know him for sure from before. And so I'll have to text him and find that out. Anything to add on that, Mel? Or there's a few more little posts.
I talked to him with Mountain Mama, and he told, it was right before he announced that he was going to be running. And we talked about podcast and stuff and
cool.
Possible producing actually. So yeah, it'd be good to talk to him, see what he's got going on.
Perfect timing. So, and then we can help him get known for running for governor. Green Acres isn't just a mansion, in my opinion, is a hub for evil. Clinton, Diddy, Burkle, Kardashians, and many others connected by power and perversion. The tiny house, carousel, tunnels, locked door. Were kids trapped there, alive, dead? We need answers. So here's his map. I don't really understand how the map works on this one, but he might be just showing it. There's the pool, the mansion, tennis court. I don't see how the graphic on that one, but Hollywood, corporate execs, politicians, royalty hides its darkness in plain sight. Burkle bought influence. Clinton and Diddy played along. At what cost? Burkle is on Epstein flight logs. He's not Epstein, but he too Diddy? What Les Wexner and Robert Maxwell are to Epstein. Interesting, he spelled it with an extra O when everything else is really well written. So, but is he too Diddy? What Les Wexner and Robert Maxwell are to Epstein? Perhaps. Okay, I think this is getting close in here. Did Burkle buy Michael Jackson's Neverland for child trafficking? Look into Burkle's other connections: Kutcher, Weinstein, DiCaprio, Pelosi, Geffen. I don't know much about Geffen. If anybody wants to add a little Wikipedia synopsis, Geffen. Not sure who that is. Willie Brown.
Geffen,
That was the.
I think Geffen was like he had a music label. Geffen Studios, could it
That
be?
sounds right.
And they
Yeah.
had like all like the I can't remember, like
Okay.
the punk stuff and
Yeah.
grunge.
If someone. Oh, grunge. Okay. Okay. Someone can give me a tiny little synopsis on Wikipedia. That'd be cool if you have that. Even just the link, and so I can click it. But let's see here. Willie Brown. Okay, Willie Brown was the politician. Also, I believe this is the one. Is that the one Kamala hooked up with? Is that Willie Brown? I believe it is. Wahlberg. Of course, that sucks when you got favorite actors and celebrities. And I always liked Mark Wahlberg. He seems to be a man of faith too. So who knows how that all plays out? But it says Wahlberg in there, and the Wahlberg's the whole family too. So who knows which one they're specifically talking about?
But like they're, I mean, a lot of them are family. So a lot of like Bono and stuff, all of them are kind of, you don't get there unless you make a deal.
Right.
And that's
You
going
really
to be the
don't.
hard part for all of us to see. And, some didn't know what they were getting into. Some maybe did.
Yeah, well said, Melzie. And I mean, that's just how the whole industry worked too, guys. Is like that's why there's so many one-hit wonders, right? You blow up on the scene, and maybe you think you can do it on your own, and they'll offer you a little, like they do the bait. They bring you in. The devil's not going to come in red horns; he's going to come in offering the poison apple, right, or all the material things. So, and if you produce a song on your own and it hits number one, you got all this stuff, money come in, ideas, they're gonna offer to help, but you got to do something. You're gonna have to owe. And then if you try to do it on your own, they're gonna destroy you, right? They're gonna use everything against you, blackball you. They own the media. Think about what they did to Trump too. This is why it's so important that we stand behind Trump, because if they can do it to him, they can do it to anybody. And this went with any of the Hollywood music industry. These people aren't there because they're talented. Some of them are very talented, probably because they've also channeled some entities, but we're going to have real people making real music also, along with real news and everything else in our future.
We already
so y'all
do.
keep out there, keep producing. Yeah, we already do.
We already do.
We don't even need their shit no more.
Nope, we don't.
Yeah, well said. All right, let me keep going back to this little dig that Lewis did for us. So 15 here. Did Burkle buy Michael Jackson's Neverland for child trafficking? Look into Burkle's other connections. Ashton Kutcher. Okay, he did the little cry, and he's part of some network that's supposed to be protecting children, and he's obviously definitely involved. Married to Demi Moore, another man who all of her children are transgender. Okay, Weinstein, DiCaprio, Pelosi, Geffen, Willie Brown, Wahlberg, Tribune Company, Penguins. That must be maybe the Pittsburgh Penguins. Interesting. And then A-grade investments. Paris Hilton, will you be a whistleblower? Let's go. So I'm not sure what that little extra tidbit is about. Yeah, that's it. And so that's a huge topic anyways. Paris, it sounds like Britney Spears has come forward and worked with Trump and those guys on human trafficking and everything. Interesting that a governor candidate for California is saying, Paris Hilton, will you be a whistleblower?
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting statement there. I believe this is Neverland Ranch. There used to be a Q in there. Looks like there's an X now. Okay. Thank you, Mel. Lewis Herm, saw the clues, met the witnesses. This is real. Please share and follow. Visit screwbiggov.com for free truth documentaries, cages, Hurricane Hell, and more, plus all my platforms and interviews. We the people are the plan. God's got this.
That's right.
This is Lewis. Thank you very much. So I'm going to go to Screw Big Dove for a second. Here's the site. Donate to the campaign, the mission, interviews. I wonder if I could find those would be his plain interviews, but he has that Rumble page.
Yeah, here's Geffen. So Geffen's records. Yeah, I remember it back in the 80s. So David Lawrence Geffen is an American film producer, record executive, and media proprietor in music. He co-founded Asylum Records with Elliot Roberts in 1971, before founding Geffen Records in 1980. And then DGC Records in 1990, and co-founding DreamWorks, which DreamWorks is with Demi Moore and Bruce Willis.
DreamWorks, is that also the people that make the movies too, though?
Yes.
Geffen Records.
Geffen Records has a logo like Cars.
Kazarian, probably supposed to be Kazarian.
Logo. So yeah, I believe DreamWorks is Demi Moore's and Bruce Willis.
Okay. Any other digs on that, guys?
DreamWorks Records, huh? So, anyways, that's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, definitely. So, thank you, Lewis. Let me go back to Screw Big Gov for a second, just to show y'all around. Y'all support our friend Lewis Herms here. Again, it's screwbiggov.com. We'll look at the very beginning. Remember your oath. Let's hit that one first.
Mm-hmm.
Rememberyouroath.com. So he's got lots of links and information here. Let's see. We support you and hold you accountable. Get deputized. Become that's right. You be an actual deputized. Is it sheriff or what is it? And you get a badge and everything.
Really?
Yeah. Rememberyouroath.com. Maybe you and I can look at that mail too and get some other friends in on this. Here, let's see what this is.
Well, I kind of feel like we're already digital posse.
10 minutes. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, we can do this too, but I really feel that, like, they watched us take the oath, or we took it, and
yes, absolutely. Yeah. But this is a little bit even farther, because this is again a big part of what he does is the things that many are looking for is what kind of action, what kind of things can we do that can make a change. Mm-hmm. So here's are you sick and tired of the endless tyranny in our country? Are you eager to make probably should be change in there through intentional sickness, confusion, division, election fraud, and overtaxation? They have us scrambling just to survive. It all changes now. We, the people, hold all the power. Echoing a little bit on your side, Mel, for a second. You mute,
okay.
Maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. Just my ear. It all changes now. We, the people, hold all the power. We must fix the micro, and the macro will fix itself. Our objective in regards to RYO, remember your oath, is to be the largest unified force on the planet that demonstrates why we, the people, hold all the power. We will support all sheriffs and civil servants that are active in defending the Constitution as they solemnly swore an oath to do. Those who choose to ignore or act outside their constitutional obligation will be held accountable by WTP legally, financially, and through massive public pressure and exposure. So how do you participate? Step one, be counted. The powers that be must see that we have power in numbers. So simply place your email address in the field supplied and click enter. Step two, stand up. It's as simple as displaying at no cost to you a bumper sticker, flyer, or wearing a garment or hat with the Remember Your Oath message on it, or Qschqql. Step three, join the Remember Your Oath app, coming soon. If you want to take mega action, click the button below. Okay, so there's here this thing about civil service. So click the button below. This may include attending a protest, participating in a boycott or boycott of businesses, sending and or delivering affidavits, holding meetings with sheriffs and other civil servants, learning how to speak at public meetings, being an admin, moderator, or volunteer, even donating to our cause. Same thing with our channel, guys, too, to help hold the civil servants' feet to the fire. So let's come together to end tyranny now. It can never be more simple than this. So that's rememberyouroath.com, which you can also get.
Is this Oath Keeper? Do you know Bill for Oath
I
Keeper?
do know him. I think this must still just be Lewis's channel here. Rememberyouroath.com.
Hello, my name is Lewis Herms.
Thanks.
You are most likely here at rememberyouroath.com because you are sick and tired of the endless tyranny in our country.
And are just read there. So there you go. Rememberyouroath.com, and then the big screwbiggov.com also. And I'll have to find where I found when their show came through. I have to find that Rumble channel and show you that then when I was on there for a second with Andrew. That was fun. I didn't want to do it, but Andrew showed up, and so I had to jump on the stage. It was worth it, though. Got to meet some more of our friends along the way. So, yeah. And I was just talking about Andrew, and then Aaron mentioned him, too. So we calling our friends into existence here, the ones we need, our gathering and stuff, too. So maybe I'll text Andrew after this also. Okay, so that's some other good stuff on X. Tim must be cooking dinner for Matthew. Want to check in with Tim real quick? I have some more Epstein stuff, but I just wanted to check with you guys first.
Am I muted?
Oh, you must have been. Then I wasn't looking at the screen.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're coming up around 2. Should we try and keep it under 2 today?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And I got some other good stuff that I think covers into everything. If you want to maybe just read one or two with me, Mel, so I'm not blabbing the whole time. But, okay, so these are ones I just bookmarked for our show here. So I'll go back to X. What you got in the chat? Yeah, wrap it up. Okay, so and we covered most of these two right here. So this one's I just found this channel. They had some really good digs on here. Amuse, 666,000.6 followers, 528 following. Mel, there you go. Heart frequency.
There you go.
Drive by me.
Sorry.
Again?
You could also go into the show staging thing if you wanted.
Yes. Okay, I'll go over there. I'm just going to scroll past some of these I saw again. Oh, and I think they'll weave in perfectly with some of those too. Drive-by media during Mohammed bin Salman's White House visit. The drive-by media tried to hijack the event with Khashoggi questions. Khashoggi. Trump defended our ally, said Mohammed bin Salman knew nothing and refused to let CIA speculation wreck Saudi ties. MBS said the goal of our enemies is to destroy the relationship between basically the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. So I just want to add a little context to this because I was didn't know anything about politics. I was awakened for a long time, but different topics would catch my interest. Then all of a sudden I found Q and started having to learn politics and everything, right? And I didn't know anything about politics. I didn't really understand how the media worked. Obviously, I started seeing they were attacking Trump, but I still would their stories were believable in some cases too, right? And the one that always tricked me up is Khashoggi was a journalist for Washington Post, I believe. And Washington Post has very close ties to the CIA, right? We have who's the owner of Amazon, or the one we think it is, the bald guy, creepy bald guy.
I can't remember his name.
He'll come to us in a second here. And then he bought the Washington Post, and he owns Amazon, and then Amazon did a $600 million Cloudflare operating system with the CIA. So the Amazon runs the CIA's networking, which interesting points back to the White Hats too. If Steve Mnuchin owns Amazon, that would be interesting. But what was I going with that? Is what were we talking about?
Okay, so I have a little dig that I'd like to bring up too. Remember we were talking about the lottery, and so Dominion.
Yes.
So Age and I and Hammer Time, we'd done a dig one time about Dominion, and that Dominion also owned. We'd heard, and maybe they don't use the name Dominion. It might be Smartmatic or something like that. But the parent company of Dominion owned the lottery machines, and so I did some digging.
This is a great dig, guys, too. So she found some really cool stuff because so we were kind of weaving in that yesterday too, right? With the machines, and we're going to show this whole Wired because this whole Scott Lennondecker Republican owns the Dominion voting things too. But I don't know if Melzie was in a different group or if there's old digs or brand new stuff, but she was looking into it. And whether it's Smartmatic is, I think the software. I'm still confused on that. If y'all can, any of the diggers want to add any insight, how does Smartmatic operate with Dominion? What's that ins and outs? I don't fully understand that, but one of these two Melzie did dig on is connected to the lottery, and talk about what a money laundering scheme that would be. Is like such an opportunity to again launder money in ways that maybe nobody's paying attention to, because they have to pay this number out. And then if you could actually rig the system just like you rigged the voting system with the lottery, would be a great way for money laundering. So who did you find out won a lottery, and what an interesting location? Mel, you want to tell them?
Yeah, if you want to pull it up, I have it in Diggers, and then there's a little video in there too that talks about that the government is involved in, I think, I'll pull it up right there.
Looks like Cindy got a good dig too on.
Okay, so it's right there. Big lottery winners are connected to the government. So, and then we're going to show you who is connected to the big lottery winners.
Oh, so there's many of them, huh? You're finding?
Yep. So if you can.
Jeff Bezos was the name. What is Jeff Bezos, Brittany? Thank you, Brittany. That was good. Oh, you guys got tons of digs. Damn, I got to catch up. Y'all dropping bombs. Need another person to help us read these. Where's that link that Cindy sent? Damn, you guys been dropping awesome stuff. Holy shit. I might have to just share the screen so everybody can see the chat. Okay, I just got to the link that Cindy sent, and then you want me to bring up something, Mel?
Yeah, if you go down to Diggers at the bottom.
So you're gonna okay. So I'll just say in Diggers, you want to transfer over anything from the staging, or I can go into staging too if you need me to.
I did. If you go down to the bottom of Diggers, and
Yeah,
then
that's what
go
I'm asking you
right,
if you
right
want to.
that one, play that one right there, that guy.
Okay. Oh, the guy above. Okay. So this one here. Okay, here we go.
Kind of weird
So this is gonna help connect the dots between the lottery, money laundering, and everything else.
that a lot of lottery winners are connected to intelligence agencies.
Did you know that lottery winners have a statistically impossible connection to government agencies? When researchers analyzed major jackpot winners over the past 2 decades, they discovered something shocking. Nearly 40% had previous careers in intelligence, defense contracting, or federal agencies.
How?
The odds of this happening randomly? Less than 1 in 847 million. But it gets stranger. These winners often donate massive portions back to government programs within months of winning. Some conspiracy theorists believe state lotteries use quantum computing to manipulate number sequences. They point to excluded combinations that would create too many winners, and jackpots that mysteriously spike during budget crises.
Does anybody else not find this weird? The system is rigged against us, y'all. Most people play the lottery to get out of poverty. And a lot of the winners aren't actually in poverty. They're connected to the government somehow. And they're giving the money back to themselves. Stay weird. Isn't it kind of weird?
Nice video, Mel. If you want to add anything on that. You're
Someone
muted.
was asking where you can find Diggers. So if you look on the bottom here, it's in Telegram. So just go to Telegram and it's QS Diggers. tm dot or dot t.me /Qschqql Diggers. So yeah, just click on that and then you'll be able to. We'll drop the link in the chat too for you.
You put a link. It's QS Diggers, right? QS.
There, I got the links for you and put it into the chat. So
Okay, so cool.
I think if you just click on it, it should go. I can't click on it here, but
yeah, it's QS Diggers though. We want QS Diggers. There's okay, cool. So let me just show it. So here's we're mainly doing our digs. I'm gonna make our own board here soon, but y'all can go here for now. This is where we drop our stuff.
And if you want to put stuff into the chat to have us look at, go to Garage. So that would be Qschqql chat.
Okay, so QS Diggers, and then QS chat is the one, Mel.
Yep.
QS chat.
We call that the Garage.
Qschqql Garage. What's the address? Qschqql with the Q's. So you gotta spell this one out. So this is a good place. The Garage where you guys want to do our actually digs and researches. I just make a dang board, but Qschqql with the Q's. Qschqql chat. Y'all can drop your digs and sauce in there. And then if it's something we need for the show, put it over on QS Diggers. Thanks, guys.
And I'd always said, so if it's something that you're interested in us looking at, try and put down like maybe what it is, a little summary of what it is, and then put, hey, Tim, hey, Kyle, hey, Melzie, and then we'll be able to see it. And then, put the topic so we don't have to necessarily go through and read the whole thing, and we can summarize it. And then put a hat tip of who you are that sent it so we can read that off too. And if there's anything else that you want us, like you're like, oh, I need this connects to this, if the more that you help us to present a story, it's easier for us then to bring it in.
Sweet. Thank you for that. Okay, I was reading through the chat. I was trying to show you guys.
Okay.
It's probably too small to do it that way.
Yeah, if you could go then back down to Diggers, and then we have, like, we're going to tie the story into someone that we're talking about today with Cappy, Isaac Cappy. Who is that? Remember?
Yeah. Zorro Ranch, too. That's New Mexico. There's so much stuff to cover. Okay, you guys are doing great in the chat. All right, so go to Diggers here. Go over to Diggers now, and we'll do this dig. Oops. So, okay. Do we want
and
this?
then there's a Q post, too, we can look at. So,
this 1 in a billion coincidence?
Yeah.
And that's
Enjoy.
basically what it was, right? Something 100 million to one for that percentage to be all government people. And then also that was before them also then donating to all these companies. 2098, 1 in a billion coincidence. Enjoy the show tonight. And then here's something from September 6th, no less. Oh, that's 2025. Oh, Delta. Okay, Saturday. Huge Powerball drawing is approaching. Updates on everything to know. The Powerball drawing will start on Saturday, September 6th at 10:59. 159's in there. Eastern time will be for a massive 1.8 billion jackpot. So here we go. So this is. You want me to read this part of the dig, or do you want to read any of this yourself, Mel?
Sorry, I was just going to look for another picture. So if you could just read it real quick.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So there's some of the stuff that Mr. Truth Bomb, no less too. We love Mr. Truth Bomb. Did you know that Jeffrey Epstein won $29.3 million in the form of anonymous trusts? There's again trust, and I've been saying this for a while. Trust the plan. The plan is in trust. All those things too. We didn't mention that the other day. Yesterday we were talking about trust Kansas, trust whatever. They're all capital letters. So maybe they're each their own individual trust. Also for information.
Yes.
So, anyways,
because it said in that Q post we read yesterday, it's trust, and then I think it had underscore and then parentheses around. So, like there's a trust for Wisconsin, maybe trust Wisconsin, right? Because you would have a trust that maybe some funds goes into there, and maybe those are secret trusts that they put money into, and trusts are, they're not that easy to access. Once you have money put into it, they can be very secretive, right? With where the money is and who are the share, like the what do they call them? I can't remember what they call them. Like their articles and representatives or whatever they are, the administrators of that trust. You can hide property in there. You can hide not just money. Like the wealthy, they don't really keep their money. They put it all into trust. Because that's what our Constitution is, a trust. It's an agreement with the American people with
that's why I think the trust, the plan being in a trust, it'll actually even give us the power to govern the country too, right? In this lockdown, even with the martial law, if we step forward and realize, okay, thank you, military, for doing your part. Now we're stepping forward. And ultimately, as I've said a million times, Commander in Chief, the civilians will have ultimate authority over the military. It has to be this way. It couldn't be any other way, because if we gave all the power to be military based, they would all fall back to the military industrial complex. They'd be like, well, we've been keeping this from the people. We're going to have to keep more because we got to protect them. No, it has to have civilian control ultimately over our military. We're going to have them to restore order, but then the people come forward and trust the plan. All of our duties and roles will be in the trust.
So did you read that whole thing?
No, I haven't read it all yet. So here we go. So did you know I'm not sharing the screen? That's right.
I know, because I'm excited.
No, it's good. And I did bring it down because we were talking. I didn't want to have us on the phone if we're talking anyways. I guess Tim's MIA. He had to go see. He take himself off, or did you take him off?
I took him off.
Okay. He's not having his camera on.
Okay, so this is what we were digging on, and I don't know how we found it, because like I said, we had done some dig, Age and I think Hammer Time, and we found that Dominion somehow was involved with the lottery. And so I did yesterday. It was real simple, and I pulled this up. So do you want to read it? And I can look for that up.
Okay, I'm trying to doing something with some tabs on the back end here. Yeah, I'll read it though. Do I have it up on the screen? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and just stop me if you want to add anything, okay? So did you know, and Mr. Truth Bomb too, definitely follow them, especially on Rumble, great videos. I want us to get on Truth Bomb, so we got to make some more of those short clips and do some Q proofs and make sure we tag Mr. Truth Bomb. Did you know that Jeffrey Epstein won $29.3 million in the form of an anonymous trust from the Oklahoma, if y'all know what's important about that state, Oklahoma Powerball lottery on July 2nd, 2008. The day after he started to serve his 18-month jail term in Florida. Oh, shit. I didn't know that part, Mel.
Did he use some money for what? A payoff or something?
After? Holy shit. Okay. A financial planning company based in Oklahoma City received $29.2 million on Monday on behalf of the Zorro Trust, which held the winning ticket from the July 2nd drawing. Imagine that. The Daily Oklahoman, 26th of August, 2008. Trust, quote, trust keeps Powerball winner a mystery. Only a lottery commission knows who is now $29.3 million richer. And think about that for covering up the money laundering already in its first place is no one knows the name, right? So that makes more sense. It wasn't Jeffrey Epstein on there because even in 2008, especially if he's just arrested, people are like, wait a minute, what's going on? But you call it zero trust and everybody's none the wiser. And then no one thinks so. So I guess trust funds are buying thousands of lottery tickets, right? So anyways, trust, quote, trust keeps Powerball winner a mystery. This is from the Daily Oklahoma, basically your local news paper in Oklahoma back in 2008. Trust keeps Powerball winner a mystery. Only lottery commission knows who is now 29.3 million richer. A financial planning company based in Oklahoma City received 29.3 million Monday. I want to know how about their financial planning. How do you win a $29 million lottery? That's great planning. On behalf of the Zorro Trust, which held the winning ticket from the July 2nd drawing. So there's some article with that.
Okay, just hold up a second. So the Zorro Trust and the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, Governor Richardson was once the recipient of lotto winnings. Look at that. Did you hear that? Let me read that again.
Where are you reading from? Where are you reading from?
Somebody's comments from VR News.
Okay.
So Zorro Ranch, and wasn't Epstein's ranch Zorro Ranch or something too? Was it?
Yeah,
called
that's
that?
Zorro Ranch. That's Epstein's Zorro Ranch. Yep.
So Zorro Ranch, who New Mexico Governor Richardson, and Richardson sold off all the water rights for New Mexico, like here in Truth or Consequences on the dam. So like it used to have water in it, and it's now down to like 1%. And so he sold off all the water to Texas, thinking that he would become like the governor, or he was trying to become, not the governor, the president. So anyways, who the New Mexico Governor Richardson was once recipient of lotto winnings, as
Also,
well as Jeffrey Epstein.
I wonder if it was part of the Zorro
And
Ranch thing again,
they
right?
both have Zorro Ranch in there. That's or in Zorro Trust. Don't you think that's kind of a strange coincidence?
Yeah, maybe if it can be a little more on the specifics. Great dig, though. So I'm going to keep reading here.
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
pointing out the.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, yeah, let's find out a little more. So here, I'm going to keep reading the second half here. There was also a computer malfunction that preempted the televised broadcast of the Sunday draw, and instead, the drawing of the ticket was held later and monitored by an auditing firm. That's super odd. So if it was monitored, are they paying off the auditing firm too? Or like, what's up with that shit? The Daily article discloses trusts shield the winner or winners from public scrutiny. Quote, we were hopeful that they would come in, but as time passed, we know they were going to form a trust. Instead, the July 2nd ticket of $29.3 million was paid out to a mysterious financial planning company, Zero Trust. Nobody really knew Epstein back then. Coincidentally, on July 1st, 2018, Epstein also started to serve his 18-month jail term in Florida as inmate number W35755. Ooh, interesting. Zorro Development Corporation is a privately held company in New York, with a SI.
Kyle, we can't see it.
This whole time I share the screen, and now you're telling me?
Because I was typing.
That's all right. We're retarded. We're retarded together here. Okay,
I got another thing too, though. I can't wait till you're done. So
okay, so I just read this little paragraph that you guys were only listening to. Here's the
All right,
numbers.
let's do it
Inmate
again.
number.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just read this. Sunday draw, monitoring the auditing firm. Again, we were hopeful people would show up, but they didn't. It formed a trust. So mysterious financial planning company, Zorro Trust, got this. Coincidentally, one day after Epstein started his 18-month jail term, they happened to mention his inmate number, W35755. So interesting. There's a 17 in there with the 55, and then JFK 35. It's weird. Zorro Development Corporation is a privately held company in New York, with a SIC code 8741, management services, where that means, and lists Bryce Gordon as a principal in a company that employs a staff of approximately 2. Jeffrey Epstein's New Mexico spread in his black book identifies a column as Epstein Jeffrey Zorro Ranch, with a phone listing for Bryce and Karen, the very same Bryce M. Gordon, who is a manager of Zorro Trust. The link between Jeffrey Epstein and Zorro Trust is very apparent. So there's some other links and information about that. You want to? You still digging on the side? Or you want to read this next paragraph, Melzie?
Sure. I'll go ahead. The Office of Foreign Missions. Hold on, I have to get rid of the logo. Can't see it. Okay. The Office of Foreign Missions has a mandate to serve the foreign diplomatic community residing in the United States, ensuring that all diplomatic benefits, privileges, and immunities would be properly exercised in accordance with federal laws. One can only wonder why the OMF would rent a building to Jeffrey Epstein, billionaire sex offender. So, like these diplomats, they get diplomatic immunity too. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if he had diplomatic immunity, supposedly.
Yeah,
Who knows?
maybe. All right.
If you trace the dates when Jeffrey Epstein donated money to political candidates, it's worth taking note that on January 30th, 1992, Epstein donated one payment of $1,000 to Bill Clinton. On February 1st, 1992, Jeffrey moved into a new Placenta Digs on 34 East 69th Street through a deal that stemmed from within the Office of Foreign Missions. It is all interesting to know that Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein bought the New York Magazine in 2003. I didn't know that. We're getting a little rain. Can you move up a little bit, Kyle? I think he's trying to move his stuff, maybe.
You there? We're taking fire here. We're taking fire. We lost Mel. Oh my gosh, this is the wrong setup. Wrong setup. Y'all stuck with me here. Oh, Mel came back. There we go.
There we go. All right, let's go.
Red Pill Roadshow.
Yeah, Red Pill Roadshow. Let us not forget that billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein helped President Bill Clinton devise the Clinton Global Initiative, according to a letter his attorney sent to federal prosecutors in 2007. So, launched in 2005. Yep.
I was gonna pick up after you now. Okay. So good job reading all that. Thank you. Launched in 2005, the Clinton Global Initiative, and this is where Epstein talks about he was the one that helped start this whole thing, right? The Clintons Foundation, right?
Yep.
The Clinton Global Initiative was an arm of the Clinton Foundation dedicated to connecting world leaders who are uniquely suited to, quote, implement solutions to the world's most pressing challenges, end quote. Epstein's name never appeared on any Clinton Global Initiative founding documents, but left court reiterated his client's involvement in the organization's formation in a 2016 ABC News interview. In addition to his work launching the Epstein also donated $25,000 to the Clinton Foundation in 2006 through his own personal charity, according to the Daily Beast. How about them reporting on that? That donation came after Epstein developed a close personal relationship with Bill Clinton during a month-long trip to Africa in 2002. Okay, we got all the links here. This is a good thing if we can reshare this Telegram link itself, maybe Mel from the dig. This is all Mr. Truth Bomb. Mr. Truth Bomb's dig on Telegram. What's his channel? Let's see where he is. Mr. Truth Bomb is T.me is the short form for Telegram, guys. So, am I sure in the right tab still? Uh-oh. Our internet's getting whack in the rain.
It's getting wacky. Getting wacky out there. I can't hear ya. No puedo escuchar.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let me try hopping out.
All right, Mr. Truth Bomb.
Let me try hopping out for a second.
Okay.
I guess you can hear me now. I guess the screen was just loading.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I was trying to show Mr. Truth Bomb's channel. It doesn't want to load. Here we go, though. It's Mr. Truth Bomb chat. Okay, there's Mr. Truth Bomb's channel. Get on over there. So now we're finishing up this document we've been reading. Did we do that one? Yep, 2005. 25,000 month-long trip. Okay.
It almost looks like the coup, but
I gotta turn you up. Say
my
again.
gosh, it's really coming down.
I know. Read that very last. Read that last sentence paragraph for me.
The COUQ, I don't know how you'd say that, Qschqql Foundation, which is identified on the Clinton Foundation's website as supporting organization, listed Epstein as its president in the 2006 Form 1990 tax return. Woo-wee!
The Qschqql Foundation. The Qschqql Foundation. Okay, so we got through that. Epstein, that was good. We
Yeah,
got
we
some
just
at
got
Join Diggers. Mimi, hi. What's
So
that?
we have so Richardson once owned Zorro Ranch. And then we go down here and let me see here. Hold on, there was something else. Okay. November 12th, Epstein files highlight New Mexico ties Zorro Ranch. So Epstein and Richardson win the lottery and they both have ties to Zorro Ranch. I don't know. That must be
Well, and
serious.
they're just tied together. It's Epstein. Zorro Ranch is kind of like the trust, right? That's just, but again, more people winning money from the
And
lottery.
Cindy says, "Oh my God! Among the documents is an unpublished memoir by
Ooh,
Virginia Roberts Guthrie,
Goofy, I think it's Goofy. I think it's
who
hard.
recalls being 16-year-old and visiting Zorro Ranch in Stanley, New Mexico, which she
Oh,
describes as a lavish,
so it's Stanley, New Mexico. Do you know where that is?
Mediterranean-looking like castle."
It's a big compound. Nobody really talks about the Zorro Ranch. We talk about it a little bit. We always talk about Epstein Island, his New York manor, but he's got this huge compound out there in
Here,
New
Brittany
Mexico.
says this: "Incoming truth overload.
The internet can't
Internet
handle.
can't
Can't
handle it.
handle. Can't
You
handle
can't handle the
it.
truth. Truth bomb, Mr. Truth bomb."
Did we do this? Cindy had this dig here. November 12th, release of 23,000 files from Jeffrey's estate by the House Oversight Committee has revealed several connections to New Mexico, including mentions of former Governor Bill Richardson. Okay. They don't have you live on Facebook again? What the hell? When did that go out? Thank you for letting me know. Unable
I'm
to
sorry,
connect.
what? I got lost. What did you just say?
I was probably mumbling. Brittany said I'm not connected on
Oh,
Facebook, so I'm gonna just
no,
try
we
to
just
restart
found
it.
that out, and it says it looks like up here it's just like loading. So sending
I
data, it says.
Yeah, I turned it off and turned it back on, so
Okay.
that is probably going to come back on. Thank you, Brittany, for letting us know. Hat tip is your name. Oh, hat tip meaning like you're shouting out who actually did the dig or the fine.
Yeah.
Hat tip like shout out. It's a shout out. Your
Yeah, let
name
me
I
see
like
if I
that.
can find that because I had something. I made a little.
Okay, I'll go back to my X because I had a lot of good digs on here still. Wherever it went, I closed it. Of course I did. What's wrong with me? And then we're gonna wrap it up here pretty soon. Anything you guys got in the comments to add? Anything Epstein files? We started with 335 on X. Thank you guys,
So,
appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit like and follow me too. I'm not super active on X, but all the live streams will be in here. We're gonna have some other special guests on, Professor David Clements, Tina Peters, maybe down the road once we get her out, get her freed up.
yep.
Lots of other connections. Who's
Oh,
the
and
other one we're supposed to do?
I asked Juan if he would
Juan.
like to come on, and so Juan said yes.
Juan said he
So
wanted to
I'll
come
find
on.
out whenever he.
So and I think too, especially with us moving and doing different things, we'd like to have like at least once a week have like an interview type thing, where we can
Yeah.
talk to somebody about
I think
what
that'd
y'all
be
working
great.
on.
I know that Cappy wants to do interviews, and so maybe we can do that during that time because it'd be great to connect, you know, some of these people to our audience and them to us because we're we are really like I don't know the grassroots of I think the movement. All of us are, and they they want to I think connect to our posse.
Yeah, we got
I
some
don't
other good digs here. I didn't mean to cut in. I just got these other really good digs here. Cindy's been on fire. Remember, Paris did come out about her childhood, so that's about like some of the things with her childhood. Cindy did a little dig on Paris Hilton for us. Paris Hilton recently addressed rumors that Ghislaine Maxwell attempted to recruit her for Jeffrey Epstein, stating she does not remember ever meeting Maxwell. This claim was highlighted in a docuseries where it was alleged that Maxwell had expressed interest in Hilton as a potential date for Epstein. And then Cindy says, get this, just happened. Paris Hilton breaks silence on Maxwell's attempt to recruit her for Epstein home. So she got a blog about it. Paris Hilton breaks silence on Maxwell's attempt to recruit her. So, and then mom manager said Geffen was in a relationship with Cher. So that's interesting. And then more stuff. Here's the House. Most of you guys know this stuff, but we'll cover it for anybody out there new. Getting the news from us. Epstein, the House Representatives voted 427-1 to pass the Epstein files. So there was only one person that said no. It was actually Republican, Clay Higgins, I believe. Not sure who that is. Makes me think of the other Clay that does the tour. But Clay Higgins
Yes,
voted
me too.
no.
I kept seeing that, and I was like,
No, right.
oh,
It's Clay
you know,
Clark. That's his name. So, but
oh,
Clay Higgins said no. I'm not sure what he looks like. If we got a picture of him, and then a couple other people didn't vote because I think it's 435 total in the House. But all of them said yes. So how about that? That goes along with the Q post saying do all will do as told. So it's a what do you call it? Bi-party agreement here.
bipartisan.
And then what was the Senate's vote? Tim said the Senate voted and said yes already too. So now it just needs to get signed by Trump. I didn't see what the Senate vote was.
I do have a little
Was
article
the
on
Senate
that.
vote all Republicans? I think on that one,
It
and
was
then I think that is. I
the
think the
only
Senate.
Republican was Clay Clark.
That's the House one though, but I think the Senate was all Republicans. And then did all the
Oh,
Democrats vote no in the Senate? Can somebody find that out? So, anyways, here's the rest of dig from Cindy. Okay, let's see. The Epstein House of Representatives voted 427 to 1 on Tuesday. Is that today's Wednesday? To pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a bipartisan, that was the word I was looking for, measure directing the Justice Department to release long sealed investigative materials linked to the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeff Epstein. The sweeping vote reflected one of the broadest displays of unity Congress has seen this year, probably ever, like since Trump, honestly. 427 to 1. Give me a break. But again, I think the Senate was split on that. Any other good digs here? Let's see. Sending DreamWorks Pictures is currently owned by Amblin Partners, which was co-founded by Steven Spielberg, known pedophile, on that one. Hopefully B Hall figured out how to get the Qschqql Diggers. That's on Telegram. You can do Telegram on an app, or you can do it through the web-based. What's it on web-based? It's web.telegram.org to go. You can enter Telegram from your computer on the web. You don't have to have an app if you don't want. Sometimes that works well for others. You can be on your phone or your computer and set up a board here so that we can all drop our digs. So if you're on X or YouTube or anything, obviously we'll see the comments sometimes, but y'all can be on that Telegram board and drop your sauce in there too, like we used to in the old days. So I got to quit talking about it, just make it happen. So,
or you could just now we could go to the garage and drop them in there.
Or the garage. Go to the garage.
Go to the garage.
Make a board that you're gonna have to.
Go to the
You're
garage.
gonna have to take your oath.
Go to the garage.
No, only want select few. But okay, for now, go to the garage.
See, everybody hung out in the garage. It was a cool place to hang out. Remember when you're growing up and you had like sofa in there and you got your music going and the lava light.
We need some tunes.
We need some tunes, yeah. How about we wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had some good. Oh, I got my X backs up. So let's go through the X here, and we'll wrap it up.
All right.
So some of the things I had. Okay, what am I on here? Is this my? Oh, people have been talking about this one. I wasn't planning on this, but it just popped up, so it's meant to be. He says about Quiet Piggy. We gotta watch this shit. You gotta watch it.
With respect to all of those people that he knows, you gotta find out what does he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knows, including J.P. Morgan Chase. Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Go ahead.
In the file, sir.
Oh man, that's gonna trigger some people there.
Quiet, Piggy.
Quiet, Piggy. Quiet now. What's that about? Missed that one. Okay, let me go. Bookmarks. Here we go. Shows. Qschqql. Okay, so this again, the Khashoggi. I'm not gonna go into this too much. I want to talk about more, but we're a little short on time. But when I was first learning about, all the ins and outs of this stuff, I didn't really know what was what. So the Khashoggi is either New York Times, maybe he's a New York Times journalist. Khashoggi, I believe he's got a brother. Anyways, allegedly a journalist, clearly probably CIA ties. Anyways, he basically got killed and chopped up in Saudi Arabia. And they were trying to pin that on Trump. And then, of course, bin Salman. So let me just read what this says about this thing here with the situation. Drive-by media during Mohammed bin Salman's White House visit, the drive-by media tried to hijack the event with Khashoggi questions. Trump defended our ally, saying bin Salman knew nothing and refused to let CIA speculation wreck U.S. and Saudi ties. Bin Salman said the goal of our enemies is to destroy the relationship. And I mentioned that earlier about the relationship between the U.S. and the CIA. So right here, during Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's White House visit, the drive-by media immediately tried to derail the meeting by resurrecting the 2018 Khashoggi killing. Biden weaponized a Department of National Intelligence report to blame Mohammed bin Salman, despite its reliance on speculative CIA assessments. The same clown-ass CIA that tried to say that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. Those fucking clowns. Okay. Trump refused to let them humiliate a visiting ally and said he knew nothing about it. You don't have to embarrass our guests. Bin Salman warned that America's enemies, including some inside the CIA, want to destroy the U.S.-Saudi partnership. So let's play this little clip here for just a second. It's a couple minutes, but it's really good because you'll see how the fake news tries to attack Trump and how well he navigates around this, try to catch him in a zinger thing.
Mr. President, is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news, ABC fake news, one of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Okay, just you ask, Mr. President, if you allow me to answer. I feel painful about, the families of 9/11 in America, but, we have to focus on reality based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden, he used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11. So whoever buying that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He knows that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism. And we have to approve him wrong and to build our relation, continue developing our relation. It's critical in the safety of the world. It's critical against extremism and terrorism. About the journalists, it's really painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose or nothing illegal way. And it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc. in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that, and it's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Mr. President, this side, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. So that was pretty good here. How he sidestepped. Oh, you got the camera already. Thank you, Mel. There we go. All right, so I'm just gonna go through a few of these and we'll wrap it up. So they're getting how he sidestepped that really well. Not gonna get this one off so much time.
A couple things. So if you could go to Diggers, that's kind of
okay.
important. So Jeffrey, what is his name? Hakeem Jeffries, and what's her name? Stacy Plaskett.
Plaskett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe play that little video up. It's only like 30 seconds, I think.
Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited.
I might need to do.
Never mind.
Cookies.
Yeah.
No, I might just need to do the cookies on my Telegram. Do you you want to try to play that one, Mel? Can you try it?
Sure. Hold on.
I'm gonna hop out for just a second. I'll be right back in. So you're gonna be on the screen all by yourself.
Campaign solicited money from Jeffrey.
Okay, thanks, guys. Here we go.
Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch.
Fuck! You sick, twisted fuck!
Good job, Mel. Nice work. Okay.
Yay.
Good job. And I have some stuff on Hakeem Jeffries also. I even had this little article. Again, we're getting
So Hakeem Jeffries and this other woman then were really co-conspiring during that time and sending emails, and Jeffrey Epstein was coaching them on what to say. So I don't know, but that's a Bigley here and the House. And then if we pull up this lady here, the House Representatives file resolution censoring and investigating Democratic member of Congress Stacey Plaskett due to her collusion with Jeffrey Epstein to Donald Trump in 2019. So I think bigly things are coming. You know, we talk about Epstein and the boomerang today, boomerang suicide, right? Coming back at you.
right back at you.
Right back at you. So she would be stripped of her committees, I think. But that's what they're looking at right now. And then, yeah, we'll find out what else happens. But I think this is a part of the disclosure in here.
Yeah. Okay. So great find.
And then I do have one other thing that I just dropped in here, and I have been thinking and believing that how do you transition from the central banking system and go to, like, you know, how do you end the Fed, and how do you transition to something that would be set up, and maybe that would be look like URLSD, something that would be given in our dividend checks or something. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know that this is true, but this is what I have been thinking about. So I was going through this, and if you go down to kind of the last one, it says Marshall Island, and if you can pull that one up. So click on that there. And then it talks about how Marshall Islands has launched universal basic income using digital wallet. So that is kind of my theory of, I think, of how they would do it with, you know, maybe giving us dividend checks, you know, bypassing the central banking system. And so we have the RULSD, and what would stabilize that whole market, maybe you influx it with some type of a dividend check. So I don't know if you want to read through it, but it's very interesting, and it is, maybe this is a testing ground for that type of before they go live with something bigger. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good teaser right there, to because that's like something you could do a whole show on, is like the new
You could,
financial
but I just
system.
wanted to show
Oh, yeah.
people into this,
Yeah,
you know, a little bit. So they're creating kind of their own. You know, you have your wallet, and then you can transfer it. It's a UBI, which means universal basic income. And then if you go down, they have kind of their own coin, is what they're doing. It's called Lo Malo.
Lo malo.
Lo Malo. You got Lo Malo. So I think that this is kind of an interesting find, I thought, and it kind of goes with what I think that could possibly happen, where they don't then have to worry about the central banking system.
Right on. Okay, yeah, we should do a whole thing on this, especially with Red Blonde, about the currency, maybe even on the weekend or an evening time show. We could do that too. So
She's, I think, in Australia or something, so we'd have to figure that part out.
What do you mean? Why do we have to do it with them?
Because her time is different. Her time is different.
Who's her? Or who's
Red
this person?
Blonde is from
Red Blonde. I got you. Either way, we could do a whole show on this thing. So let's see some of these documents. Plaskett. So we cover that with Epstein Island, where to get Plaskett's relationship with Epstein stands. In stark contrast to the public image she has curated for herself and defender of justice and accountability, Rutro, coming all over the place. I got a little article. I'm not going to spend much time on it, but Hakeem Jeffries, just what this just came out. Emails reveal Epstein invited to Dem fundraiser to get to know, not just money, but get to know Hakeem Jeffries. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer is turning up the pressure on Democratic leaders after uncovering evidence that links House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries' political operation to disgrace financier Jeffrey Epstein. There we go. Those who screamed the loudest, right, guys? Comer revealed on Tuesday a 2013 email sent by a Democratic consulting firm invited Epstein to a private dinner and even offered him a chance to, quote, get to know Jeffries personally. This is after Epstein's first conviction for trafficking children. I don't know what it got reduced to, but everybody knew what was going on. The Kentucky Republican said the email is now part of the Oversight Committee's expanding investigation into Epstein's political ties. Is this big enough to read it like this? Oh my gosh, let me do that. So I'm just going to, this article, Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to attend an event or meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of a 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch, Comer told colleagues House floor. The email dated May 7, 2013. Okay, was sent by a partner, Democratic consulting firm. Epstein's longtime assistant, Leslie Groff, also forwarded to him the subject line, Rising Star, Hakeem Jeffries. Dear Jeffrey, the message began, we are thrilled to announce that we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars in the New York congressional delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. We now call him Timu Obama. He is a staunch supporter of President Obama.
Yeah, Bathhouse Berry.
Bathhouse Berry, and a progressive voice for the people of New York City. The outreach included promotional material praising Jeffrey's freshman year accomplishments, yada, yada, yada. Hakeem is Democratic majority 2014, yada, yada, yada. Shoot us an email. At the time, Epstein had pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution and soliciting a minor, a conviction that had been public for roughly 5 years when Democrats reached out to him for campaign support. There you go, right there. So post the pleading guilty to soliciting prostitution and a minor. Through the 90s and 2000s, Epstein funneled tens of thousands of dollars, probably millions, into Democratic campaigns and political committees. He died in federal custody, allegedly, 2019, while awaiting trial on child sex trafficking charges. Okay, so
all right. Sorry.
The FEC, that's Federal Elections Commissions, I believe, records show no donation from Epstein to Jeffries, the DCCC or the DSCC around the time of the email, something Republicans say does nothing to soften the troubling optics. Anyways, it does also not change the fact Jeffries, that's Hakeem, outreach was included among 20,000 plus pages of Epstein-related documents released last week by House Oversight Committee. So that 20,000 was already released? I'm confused about that.
Well, I am too. I'm not sure how that goes.
Okay, so Congress moves on transparency as President Trump prepares to sign Epstein's bill. So lots of stuff coming down the pipe there. Once signed, DOJ will have 30 days to release the documents with redactions to protect Epstein's victims. President Trump has indicated he will sign the measure, despite Speaker Mike Johnson pushing for last-minute changes and suggesting he might ask Trump to veto the initial House version. Interesting. All right, so
well, I think that they said that there's some national security.
Of course,
so
that's
right. I mean, when you have presidents raping children, you got problems, right? And who knows what's coming up within there? What national security may be. So, I mean, you can see how things might develop where we might have internet shutdown and stuff like that. Like how before would it be? Like they don't want this information out. It's not going to be like, oh, here it is, everybody, or oh, there's the client list now. We got her. We already know. It's still going to be a little hide and seek, I think. And we're going, like you said, those that scream the loudest are going to be kind of coming up right now, and we'll be seeing them come center stage.
Definitely. Let me add last little bit here. What Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, said, the truth is the biggest proponents of this discharge petition were never actually interested in transparency or ensuring justice or protecting victims of the unspeakable tragedy, the Epstein evils. And how do we know that? Because the Democrats had every one of Epstein files in their possession for the 4 long years of the Biden administration. The Biden Department of Justice had the files the entire time, and not a single one of the people who were so loud and animated right now ever said anything about it for all those 4 years. So again, that's kind of the nonsense of the left and right politic game happening in America. But as you can see, everyone's attention is on this, which is what we ultimately want. That's the goal. So these are all good things, right? Back in the day, we were pretending like the Epstein files didn't exist, right? The left said they didn't exist. Now Trump's in them. Why aren't we releasing them? So be careful what you ask for. It's coming full circle. Boomerang suicide.
Boomerang suicide.
And I know Melzie's trying to jump off here already, but let's do one of these boomerang suicide Q drops. If you need to hop off, do something. And then I got a couple more, and then we'll wrap it up. So boomerang suicide. I guess I just did boomerang on this one, but the first 2 drops are boomerang suicide specifically. We just covered these drops. Look at, they're actually deltas from November. So this one was 11.9. That was when I flew. So that was on Sunday. 23.63 embedded in 24.63. That's kind of odd to be that big of a gap between the 2 posts, and then Q replies to their own post. Sometimes they'll do a screenshot because it's like too many posts happening that the board is like full and they have to do a new board. I don't really understand how that works, but on the 8chan, this is on Patriots Fight, which is a sub board on 8chan, 438th post on there. Q was responding to their Patriots board Q post, or 384 on there. So 2393 embedded. We showed this just a week or so ago. A nice image here that shows the percentage of undocumented immigrants, where they live in the United States, and then the counties that vote red or blue, and how perfectly the place where the highest undocumented immigrants is are these blue strongholds, because it doesn't take a rocket science to put 2 and 2 together. Obviously, those are more left-leaning cities, but the fact that that's also where the undocumented are, needless to say, lends itself to the possibility that they've been voting for a while, and that's what we're getting to the bottom of. So then they share a tweet from, let's see, I feel like this one's not going to be there. Anon's gone. Let me show you. Confirmed. The post is from a suspended account. That's where Melzie's old Twitter account is, in the graveyard. And he doesn't have that one archived. Normally Qschqql has them archived. For some reason, that one's not archived. Okay, whatever. Amazing what you can discover when you research for yourself. God bless you, Patriots. This is a great one. This is just a small list of things requiring an ID, but not considered racist. We covered this pretty well a week or 2 ago. Purchasing alcohol, purchasing cigarettes, opening a bank account, applying for food stamps, applying for welfare, applying for Medicaid, Social Security, applying for a job, applying for a mortgage, applying for unemployment, a hunting license, a fishing license, renting a house, renting an apartment, buying a house, driving a car, renting a car, renting a hotel, buying an M-rated video game, boarding an airplane, getting married, purchasing a gun, adopting a pet, getting a prescription. Even a pawn shop transaction requires an ID, but we don't require ID for voting. How stupid is that? Okay, and it wasn't considered racist. Will recent expected voter fraud actions by the D Party provide support for a voter ID law? ? Voter ID law equals death of the D Party. Boomerang suicide. Q. So how would they make that a boomerang suicide? How are they gonna trick how's Trump gonna trick the Democrats even into arguing for a voter ID? Maybe they'll say Republicans have been stealing the election or something. I don't know how they'll do that one. But that's the first boomerang suicide. And then the very next one, 2472 on 11.10, another Delta we just passed. What is this article? Let me take a look. I don't even know what this would be. Affidavit of Chelsea Marie Smith. Let me just show this. I'm not familiar with this is. SOE. What's SOE stand for? After ad. Come on now. Come on, man. What's going on here? What's going on? Okay, ads over here. I just want to show this affidavit. Chelsea Marie Smith. My name is Chelsea Marie Smith. I'm over the age of 18. I'm sound mind. Gosh dang it, doesn't want us to see this thing. So I'm going to go. We knew then. We know now. This time we have government control. Boomerang suicide. Wish I knew more about what that damn document was saying. Let's see. It says, my name is Chelsea Marie Smith. I'm over 18, sound mind. I have personal knowledge of the facts contained in this affidavit. I was employed through a temporary employment agency, K-Force, and was working full-time at the Broward County Supervisor of Elections. SOE is Supervisor of Elections. Main office in Lauderhill, Florida. My duties included clerical work as well as delivering various items. So part of my regular duties frequently had absentee ballots, including time stamping. I want to check out this document some other time so I can give you all the gist of it. But obviously some election nefarious things happening with this clearly on that. So, okay. So anyway, some boomerang suicide ones. That was the name of today's title. New Clinton Foundation whistleblower. Ooh, Clinton Foundation. This is going to be a Delta for the later in the month. Say to do this one now. 2514. Anon here. Anon embedded in here. New Clinton Foundation whistleblower to be announced next Monday. Is that going to happen again? In a discussion between Hannity, John Solomon, and Sarah Carter, something new came to light about the Clinton Foundation investigation. Hannity, now there's something percolating that will probably break Monday. You're both smiling. Do either one of you want to give the audience, well, a little heads up? John, this would be John Solomon. I'll give you some breaking news right now, Sean. Just 2 hours ago, federal prosecutors assigned to John Huber, the Utah U.S. attorney investigating the Clintons, reached out to a whistleblower in the Clinton Foundation. This is the first time we've seen contact between a Clinton Foundation whistleblower and that particular federal office. That just happened tonight. Hannah says, are you talking about the one whose home was raided? John Solomon says, no. This is a different whistleblower that you'll learn a lot on Monday, I bet you. Handy says, all right, we'll learn a lot more on Monday. Sarah, last word. Sarah Carter, we need to keep our eyes. Handy says, what's the preview of Monday's coming attraction? Sarah laughs. I think we've got a lot to look forward on Monday, Sean, and I think the American people are going to see that. There was something happening behind the scenes at the FBS, as well as the Department of Justice. FBS, is that foreign people? And Michael Horowitz has been doing a very deep dive into this. There's going to be a lot of breaking news in the next month and in the months to come. Hannity, amazing the year of the boomerang. We were right all along. It continues. Little YouTube video. They're telling us to go to 2020 mark. Looks like this video is gone. Another one bites the dust in the Q movement, our Q army of posts and things. Future will prove past. History books, justice. Enjoy the show, Q. I feel like this is going to come up this week here since Clinton isn't for their subpoenas. Melzie just asked at the top of the hour, can they be arrested for that? Well, we just saw other people get arrested for it. So if nobody's above the law, I think we should probably arrest them, these motherfuckers. And it's a great lead in, like Melzie said, to the more heinous stuff. They're sitting behind bars for not responding to a congressional subpoena or federal subpoena. So they'll be indicted and arrested for that. And then other charges will come along the way when that kind of makes sense to me for sure. So anyways, I'm going to leave that with the rest of those boomerang drops. And let me see if I'm going to go my X one more, even though Melzie abandoned me. Is Kylie Bird's on the island again? Oh, there she is. There's my friend. Let's see what else we got on X here. Anything worthwhile. So there's the, Muslim Brotherhood. We covered this yesterday. Maybe we'll bring this up again this weekend. Texas specifically. So that's a good article from Amuse. Had some digs on that. Reveal Larry Summers. Here's the Epstein stuff. Epstein emails reveal Larry Summers kept a close relationship with Epstein after the 2008 conviction, asking him for $1 million and personal favors. Harvard can't remove him because he's tenured. Summers refuses to go. So I want to touch on this one a little bit. This is Harvard University. Obviously, Trump's taking them on. Even all these Ivy League schools is really like a big, maybe money laundering there too, right? The whole thing's a scam, how much money they charge for the books. The professors can't get fired. You got to go here to get your job. They have outrageous prices. Trump's going to basically give education for free away. He talked about that during the campaign. Hasn't came up since, but I'm sure he'll do that. So Harvard can't fire Larry Summers despite disturbing personal Epstein relationships. Summers, Harvard's former president and professor, is engulfed in a scandal after emails show he stayed close to Jeffrey Epstein long after his conviction. Summers asked Epstein for $1 million for his wife's project, leaned on him for personal advice about dating a young student while getting $1 million for his wife, these fucking sick fucks, and accepted access and travel offers tied to Harvard circles. Tenure protects Summers from termination, and he won't resign. So this guy's connected to Epstein, and Harvard can't do nothing about him. He's going to just come and go like no big deal, even though he got $1 million for his wife thing and leaned on him for advice on how to date young students, because Epstein would certainly know that kind of shit. These are the sleaze balls. These people all hang out in the same circles. Ooh, Richard Grinnell is messing about that. What's his title right now? That's where I need Tim. What is Richard Grinnell's title right now? Can anybody put that in the chat? What's his role? The Harvard Board of Overseers should all resign together. They selected a plagiarist and a pedophile as president of the university. Clearly, they have terrible judgment. So that was a pretty funny story about that. Let's see, Pam Bondi, Supreme Court stuff. Not going to go into that, but Texas connected. Secretary Rollins. This is about the shutdown. We're not going to cover that today. We covered that quite a bit, but I did mention this again. 500,000 people getting double payments on freaking food stamps, SNAP, and 186,000 total dead people on the rolls. At least 5,000 were receiving checks each month, but there's 186,000 of them on the rolls. I don't know if they rotate them around or what they do with that. So pretty insane what's been exposed with that. And I'll actually play this short video because Mel mentioned it a while back when this first coming down the pipe, like how big all this is, all the infiltration, we were going to maybe name this deep state tentacles, all the tentacles of the deep state everywhere they are. This is just one of many of them, but we didn't even talk about snaps or nothing, early in this administration or years prior. And think about how much fraud, how much money is being stolen from the American taxpayers with this shit too. So Democrat shutdown exposed massive snap fraud as Secretary Rollins moves to reform program. Secretary Brooke Rollins said the Democrat shutdown gave us a platform to completely deconstruct the SNAP program, revealing how deeply corrupted it became under Biden. SNAP spending exploded 40% as Democrats used the program to buy votes. Roughly 500,000 people receiving double payments, and astonishing 186,000 dead individuals were still collecting benefits. I either played this video before the show or the beginning, so I apologize if I already played this one. I'm going to play it one more time, though, because I don't think I did on the show.
Hey, I have a handy dandy chart. I was getting to the affordability piece of SNAP. Almost 40% increase under Joe Biden of what was spent in the people that entered the food stamp / SNAP program. That's 40%. Of course, they were working to buy the election. But what we have seen and what Doge and our amazing team at USDA, 186,000 dead people are receiving SNAP benefits. 500,000 people are getting paid twice. We've made hundreds of arrests. We have a lot more to do. But this was, I think, an unintended consequence of the Democrats shutting the government down for 43 days, is it shined this very bright light on one of their pet programs and now has given us a platform to completely deconstruct the program, make sure those vulnerable Americans who really need that benefit are going to get it. And for all the rest of the fraudsters and the people who are corrupt and taking advantage of it, we're going to protect the taxpayer too. Hey, I have a handy dandy.
Okay. So there you go. A little bit about that. Okay, I think that's it. And then I got the closing video. So I just want to I had something else. Oh, here's this the dig Cindy had. I'm not going to cover this right now, but we'll go into this maybe more this weekend. Billionaire Ron Burkle buys Michael Jackson's infamous Neverland Ranch for $22 million. That was December 31st, 2020, or at least December 28th article, and then edited. But I'm not going to go this one there. There's the mansion. It used to have a Q, or maybe that was up over this way, but Neverland. There's a clock, 10 and 2, kind of like the Mickey clock. I've never seen that before. Interesting picture. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, once listed for $100 million, only sold for $22 million. So interesting that it was that cheap. And then we got 11.22 coming up, but not going to cover this. But thanks for that dig there, Cindy, for the article. And I think we did it pretty well, Mel. And I got a good closing 5-minute videos and one of my saved. So unless you have something else for us, but anything else to add?
I do have one thing that's in Diggers that I dropped. It's from Santa Surfing.
Okay.
My girl Santa Surfing.
Oh, I always forget that. That's a girl, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's the stuff we covered. And again, Stacey Plaskett, connections with Epstein. There's Stacey Plaskett.
There she is.
There she is. Another one. She's connected with Hakeem Jeffries, I believe.
Yeah. It's going to be ouchy real soon for a lot of people.
Ouchie. Okay. I'm not going to cover the money stuff, but we'll do that maybe this weekend or that's like an evening show. I think would be perfect to cover all that.
Okay, right here.
Get that out of Melzie's brain. MelzieKaye's mind, get those thoughts off her mind so she can rest. All right, so let's see. Checkmate Day. And do you want to read this one?
Sure. Trump just scorched ABC reporter Mary Bruce in front of the world and called them
perpetrators. I think that's that video we played in the mirror in the beginning, or we just actually recently, where she was asking about Khashoggi right there. And he just basically said what a terrible reporter they were. And I didn't listen last time I played it, but I heard it before. He did a great job talking about all the great work they're doing. And then Ben Salman hopped in and said, I'll take that, like, hey, we feel bad for that. And that was the stupid ass thing she said, that 9/11 families are furious that Ben Salman's at the White House. Like, shut the fuck up. That ain't real. That's not more bullshit. Okay, keep going, Mel.
Okay. House passed HR. Yeah, okay.
House resolution.
House Resolution 4405, Epstein files, goes to Senate. House votes to censure Representative Stacey Plaskett for...
That's the one you just covered.
Colluding texting with Epstein during a hearing.
Oh, during the hearing. Oh, that's big. Yeah, that's
imagine
right.
that?
And he was coaching her, right? Okay, yeah, keep going.
He was coaching her, yep. Hakeem Jeffries demands accountability for perpetrators in the DOJ Epstein files. Hakeem Jeffrey email proves his team invited Epstein to a fundraiser with Obama. Jesse Water reports that Hunter Biden is broke. Oh, darn. Trump secured $1 trillion from Saudi Arabia. And I think today, too, I saw that they're having some type of investment seminar or work, something, conference. And then a private dinner tonight. And the last one, what was that one? I think it was important.
Q Proof November 8th, 18th Delta. I think we showed that at the very beginning.
What is that? The billion?
I think so. The 1 billionth, because then he says the 17x. I think that's the one they're mentioning. Let me see. Maybe she has it lifted. I'll go over to her X. Let's see if she's got these in order. Oh, she had little videos on this too. That's cool. Oh, that'd be nice to just scroll through these like this next time. Get a good dig like this. That's a good idea. There's Waters. Ooh, 448 on Hunter Biden. We're not going to do that today, but maybe we'll save that tomorrow. Here's again Saudi Arabia, POTUS, Rapid Response 47. Follow them. They seem like they got good stuff. At POTUS on Saudi Arabia's $1 trillion in investments in the U.S. When you invest $1 trillion, that's national security for us too, because it creates jobs. It creates a lot of things. That's a real ally that will do that. It creates a lot of power for the United States. Again, 4 years, Hunter Biden administration brought in about $1 trillion total of investments in the United States. Trump is at 18 trillion now in basically 10 months or so. Okay, here's the 18th Q Proof. Oh, it's the 156 plus. Let's see. We got. Oh my gosh, good thing we double checked it, Mel, because there was, I believe, it's the 18th. I thought it was the 18th, and about the 1 billionth coincidence or chance, we showed that. This is 156, one before 157, and it's 5/18/29 in there. Those are okay, and it's just plus. Now this is somebody else's decode, because yes, plus can mean checkmate, but the standard modern notation for checkmate is the pound sign, while older text or certain publications may still use. Hey, mute yourself.
We can't hear you.
Mute yourself.
No, you just went like underwater.
It sounded like somebody was running water. It sounded like it was on your end. That was weird.
It wasn't. I don't know.
That's super
weird.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Continuing on. Okay, while older texts or certain publications may still use plus for checkmate. I've never heard this. Interesting. plus checkmate. It can be ambiguous because it's also the standard symbol for a double check when the king is attacked by two pieces at once. Ooh, double whammy. And then, so checkmate. Why is that a proof, though? Do they add more about that? Let's see what else they say. Let's see. November 8th, Delta. They don't really say anything else about it. Elon did that just a couple days ago, plus. Okay, here's Elon Musk. Moved to Austin. It gets better very year. That should be every year. Missing E. So many cool world-class people are moving to Austin from San Francisco, LA, New York, London, and many other parts of the world. Austin plus. Oh, and I believe that's where the University of Texas Austin has those supercomputers. After living in Austin Metro for the last 5 years, I can attest that this area of the country is awesome, but two huge drawbacks for those. But that just recently posted. Elon Musk posting the plus. That was on the 12th, though. Still trying to find one. This is what figure out why this is a proof. I wish anons would make their proofs always legitimate and very good. Austin, where tested robo sends a surveying. Here's QJob 134. I wanted to show this because it's the 11.6 thing. 133 is there. No, it's 123. Why were the events? And this is 11.11 QJob. I don't think we covered this on the 11.11 day. 134. Oh, we did do 134 because I read 133 to 134 back and forth. That was really interesting. House of Sod. Other side is falling. Yeah, I'm going to cover that. I still don't know why that's a proof. But, okay.
I don't know why either. So, anyways, we can move.
That's right.
Yep.
Either way, we explored it. We found out.
What's interesting about that was that, she had it summarized all in there. But if you go down a little further, in Diggers, it says that they are having Saudi Arabia will host a U.S.-Saudi investment summit November 19th in Washington during Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's visit to the White House with Trump. So, I mean, it's not just that they're going to be investing, they're actually going to be, having a summit. That's a big deal.
So that's today.
Yes. Bigly. That's bigly.
Okay, we need to watch that later. Cutting the Red Sea cables, which cuts off the world banking system. That's from Whiplash. Red Sea Greenland Connect, second largest underwater cable. Ooh, also, I know there's gonna be a road. We're gonna build a road from Alaska to Russia. That's gonna be the bridge of world peace. That will be interesting. That was a super major download when I heard that idea. Be able to just drive right to Russia. So here's the little decode on it. I'm not going to get into it. Yeah, there was a no step 5 is today's delta. No step 5 and dang it.
Yeah, I don't understand what that means, but
yeah, I know. I'm not quite sure.
It's an interesting number, 23606. It's a Tesla number. See.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, let's go.
Okie dokie, friends. Let's wrap it up. Wrap it up. Any last words from you, Melzie? Or let me stop sharing. Y'all can talk for a second, then I'll play this video, close it out.
What do you have for a video for closeout? Because I saw that Don't Drink the Kool-Aid dropped something today. And let me see where I put it.
This is 5 minutes. If we got 5 minutes, I want to try to be under 3 hours. We're just going to play this one. If you got something good, we'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah, I think this will be good. Good closer. We love you guys. Thanks for showing up. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bat chime, same bat channel. Where did I go here? Okay. Yes. Thank you guys. Love y'all.
Love you. Bye-bye.
You are not hidden. There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. There is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter, I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS.
When the World Trade Center came down, I saw something that no place on earth could have handled more beautifully, more humanely than New York. You're two 110-story buildings come crashing down. I saw them come down. Thousands of people killed. And the cleanup started the next day, and it was the most horrific cleanup probably in the history of doing this and in construction. I was down there, and I've never seen anything like it. And the people in New York fought and fought and fought, and we saw more death and even the smell of death. Nobody understood it, and it was with us for months, the smell, the air. And we rebuilt downtown Manhattan. And everybody in the world watched, and everybody in the world loved New York and loved New Yorkers. And I have to tell you, that was...
The storm in which we find ourselves today was set in motion by President Trump.
You guys know what this represents? Well, it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm is
We have the world's great military people in this room. I will tell you that. And we're going to have a great evening. Thank you all for coming, gentlemen. Thank you.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical.
It's going to be very hard to come in. Right now, it's very easy to come in. It's going to be very, very hard. I don't want terror in this country. You look at what happened in San Bernardino. You look at what happened all over. You look at what happened in the World Trade Center. Okay, I mean, take that as an example.
Are you at
People
all
don't
concerned?
even bring that up.
Are you at all concerned it's going to cause more anger among Muslims around the world?
There's plenty of anger right now. How can you have more?
You don't think it'll exacerbate the problem?
David, I mean, I know you're a sophisticated guy. The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. Well, you think this is going to cause a little more anger? The world is an angry place, David.